We are live.
Uh-oh.
What's up, everyone? I am back. Disbrew is back. Mike is back. And we are here to give you another Epic Verse live show. And tonight, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Ben, or
It's
Ben, as his name says.
Ben, are you okay? You look like you were stroking out there for a second.
I mean, I might have been. It's a normal occurrence for me.
But tonight we have Ben joining us, and some of you might remember him from the Epic Man channel when we were doing some content for that and stuff. And he is obviously part of our podcast as well, which has been renamed to the Epic Verse podcast. So we have been actually recording lots of episodes of that show for you guys, and we're going to be starting that back up in May. So very soon here. So we're just working out a couple more things, working on the intro video for that. And as soon as that is done, then we will be launching that again, bringing that back. So I'm very excited for that. And yeah, we're here to talk about some fun things tonight. We're going to be talking about talking about May in a general sense, just kind of like going over some of the movies, some of the games that are coming out, some of that type of stuff. So yeah, we have Disbrew joining us once again as well. It's always a pleasure having him around. And he really just ups the value, the production value of the stream just with his voice alone. So
the voice.
I was going to say it's all fake. It's just the accent. It's just a veneer of civility.
I was like, Disbrew is a great guy, man. His voice.
Well, Disbrew is a great guy, but his voice is heavenly.
Yeah, if you put it up with quality with an accent, I've got like 6 in my back pocket I can pull out.
Well, they're fake.
It works. Yeah, you can just fake it.
If Disbrew in real life was like,
but I'm pretty good at faking it.
Was only like a 3 on the person scale, like he wasn't a good person at all. The accent adds like 5 points. You're like, dude, he's a great guy. But he just happens to be
the same for all British people.
People are already roasting Ben in the chat.
Wow,
I do not know Ben,
okay,
but his background needs work.
At least it's not drywall like it was last time. At least it's like black. So like,
yeah.
It's a pretty plain background.
It's
and I'm
black,
pretty white.
It's
so
showing how open-minded you are. You're
yeah. I mean, I'm a pretty pasty white dude, and so this just really helps me stand out.
You look like a freaking Oreo right now, basically.
Yeah. That's what I am.
The only thing it's missing is a single poster just off to one side.
There's 2.
Actually, fun.
Thank you very much.
The second, yeah.
Come on now. Hot damn. There's 2.
I'm sorry, it changes everything, especially as it's lopsided and unbalanced.
My setup was actually very similar to Mike.
No, I mean they're both on your left.
Yeah,
a long time ago.
Yeah, well, Ben, you need work. You need to work on that.
Okay,
well, I don't want to move it to my right.
Don't worry. I was getting so much crap on Friday Night Tights last night for my background.
Yeah, they're like,
you gotta put some posters in the background there. What are you doing, man?
I'm a plain and simple guy. I mean, look at.
I get very triggered. Yes.
I liked how they said that if you put one poster in your background, it'd be an improvement. I'm like, I'm not sure. Like, it'd be weird because you've got symmetrical camera as well. So.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I put up a post, they're like one thing, and they were like, "What? Might as well not put anything up."
That was my attitude.
And I was like, "Well, you know what, man."
Disbrew, I have a really quick question for you. Just curious about this. Do British women actually find American accents hot?
That's racist.
Yes, because it's unusual.
Okay.
They don't find British accents hot.
Yeah, so. I was very curious about that. I was like, does it work the same way? Because I know Americans find
like about to go over
like British accents, really sexy. So I was like curious if it was the same.
Okay, so
yeah,
I have a
it's
question.
Probably different.
Like, what about like the Southern accent versus like the more Northern accent?
Well, this is the thing. I don't know which accents they are. I'm sure that you've got horrible ones over there, like we've got horrible ones over here. Like when everyone says a British accent, no one thinks of Birmingham. Nobody.
Birmingham.
So, Dave from Birmingham. Yeah. So it'll depend which ones it is. But if you've got kind of anything that's used more in movies, they'll probably like.
Yeah.
So there's like Southern twang. People talk like that,
dude.
I actually like that accent.
Mike, you don't even realize.
Mostly the accent that you hear in movies is probably more like the West Coast accent, stuff like that.
Like so. West Coast. You mean like American?
Well,
accent.
I mean, yeah. Okay. There's still slight differences and stuff. Like you have like East Coast, like especially like Boston and
Boston.
No, I'm walking here.
I'm fucking sorry. Okay, give me a break.
I'm from Boston, okay?
Boston. Ken Lipson, thank you for the $5 super chat. I love your background, Josiah. It's a meme now.
He loves your background because it's a meme. The same way that people used to love my white background because it just made me look more white than I already was.
It's pretty sad.
Thank you, Ken. Appreciate that $5 super chat.
The thing is, when you come over here, our accents are so sort of thick. You can go half an hour down the road, you'll be with a different accent. So it's really
awesome.
So deadly fuck.
Yeah, I mean, up here apparently we have Northerners and like we have accents, but I think we have the most normal voices.
Right, we're pretty nasal.
I think that, but I mean, I don't hear people make fun of Northerners.
I do
when they make like Texas. Not like here they do, but like when you go to other countries and stuff, that like they're like Texas accent. You hear that one a lot, or like howdy y'all.
It's actually funny because there's a couple people that I follow that are streamers that are British, and like normally when they revert to doing an American accent, they tend to go Southern with it. It's really interesting, and I don't know if that's just like what sticks out or what, but yes,
Michiganders do have accents.
Apparently we do. Apparently we do.
Absolutely.
I wish I knew what we sounded like. That's
we just sound.
Nobody knows their own accent yet.
We just sound straight to me.
What?
Instead of gay?
Like
I don't know where I was going.
Like there's just nothing, you know? Like there's no
gay accent in America.
That doesn't even make sense.
There's no roller coaster to our accent. It's just like
it's you're what you mean is even. It is very even.
We say like milk, and
I think straight works too.
We also call
we don't have
soda.
A gay accent, no.
We also call soda pop here, and that bothers a lot of people.
True. Oh no, we call it pop.
I call it soda.
See?
Well, there we go. See, now once again, okay. I am now fully aligned with the Brits once again. We have a strong alliance because pop is the proper way to say it, you know.
Fair. It is.
So
people call it soda. It's like no.
The worst. Okay, but let's just all agree that the worst is when people call it soda pop. Just pick one.
Yeah, to try to ride the fence.
Just pick one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's either soda.
Stop trying to be
pop.
centrists. It doesn't work.
Just pick out of here. Nobody asked to. No, it's absolutely. Ben is absolutely right. Don't ride the fence. Just pick one.
Just pick one.
This is also true. There are people that will literally call just all pop Coke.
Yes, too. that's especially a thing in the South. It is especially a thing in the South. It's the most obnoxious, frustrating thing. Like, what kind of Coke do you want? I just want regular Coke, and then they give you a Dr. Pepper, and I'm like, this is what I asked for. I asked for
we
Coke.
don't get that kind of choice over here. Takeaways and stuff, they either have Coke or Pepsi. So you just go in and ask for Coke, and whichever one you get is what you're going to have to be happy with.
Well, there you go.
That's funny. That's really funny.
Yeah.
So this is a kind of a personal question for Disbrew. But
we've been saving a lot of British questions for you, and we didn't throw them at you the first stream because we didn't want to scare you off. We got it twice now.
Now you're here, so
now there's a list.
Yeah, we got to tap into this a little bit here. So what are like some of your favorite meals to eat? Like, what's some of your favorite food?
Personal.
Oh, you're asking me about food?
I
don't give a fuck about food.
You don't give
a
what?
What? You're not a hungry
guy? I'm really
guy?
not that bothered. Like, it's probably largely because I grew up as like the food in the house was just awful, so now I just don't care. My food is literally just meat. I just eat meat. That's basically it.
Is food over there just like really boring?
It's not that the food's boring. Well, it's the food I grew up with was boring, so now I don't really care that much about food. Like one of the first G&G streams I was on was Jeremy and Krista talking about takeaways in America, and I'm like, at some point they're going to stop because I couldn't say anything. I didn't know any of them, and I'm not joking. They must have gone on for 2.5 hours just talking about takeaways. And like, they must run out of chains. No, they're just discussing chain after chain. We don't have anything like that here.
Yeah,
most of our stuff is
Americans love to talk about food. So,
a lot of people do over here, but we have only a couple of big chain takeaways. The rest are more local stuff. So there's not big.
It's okay. Local stuff is better. So.
Yeah, but that's what it'll always be. So I'm thinking there's even like there's a guy that goes around the country reviewing different local takeaways. And to show that people liked his food, it just blew up. So there's definitely a market for it. It's just not me.
Yeah.
Right.
It's really bad over here. We're so freaking fat in America.
Yeah, all we do is eat all the time.
Also, our food is made differently here. So like we have a lot of preservatives and shit in our food. Like so
Mhm.
if you were to come here and eat a meal, you'd feel tired and sluggish and like really full. And you'd be like, what is going on? What is happening to my body right now?
Facts.
Because anytime I've ever eaten anything that was not made in America, I like feel great after eating it.
Right.
Every person I know that's been to America says they put on like 2 stone in a week, just immediately.
They put 2 stones in their pocket and
Yeah.
come back.
Yeah.
But they don't like your chocolate. They despise your. You put too much sugar or something in it. I don't know what it is.
Really?
I think they're probably talking about Hershey because Hershey isn't real chocolate.
Yeah, our stuff is like really like we put a lot of sugar in everything.
Well, my favorite chocolate is actually like the 70% dark chocolate. So it's like very, very dark.
I tend to buy a lot of chocolate from South or Central America because I think they make some of the best chocolate.
Me and Josiah tried like one of the world's most expensive chocolate bars.
Yeah.
And it was terrible.
It was like how much did that cost? I think it costed like
it was a lot.
It was a lot. It was a very small bar too. It was like a square, like a very small square.
It came in like a box, like wrapped in like it was
fancy.
like wrapped like 6 different times. You had to unlock, like open the box, and the wrapping paper was all nice too, and it was weird, dude.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah,
I'm trying to find the price for that because it was like almost $1,000. I think.
Are you serious?
Whoa!
Yeah.
I didn't know you spent that much on it. What a waste of money.
Way too freaking much. There was no reason for it to be. It was over $600. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just looked it up.
Yeah.
I mean, over here, when people talk about good chocolate, they normally refer to sort of Belgian chocolate, but that's more sort of rich and creamy rather than anything else.
Yeah.
See, this was, I don't know what this was, man. And then like they gave you like tweezers, like wooden tweezers, because they don't want you to like touch it with your hands. And they're like, make sure you pair this with a good wine. And I'm like, bro, we're just about to scarf this down in front of everybody.
That enhances everything, doesn't it? Rotting grapes. Oh, that's exactly what I want with any food.
See, but that's the thing with a lot of expensive foods and even beverages, like things like wine. If you put the most expensive one next to the cheapest one, a lot of the time people can't even tell the difference.
Yeah,
like that's the craziest thing is like you unless you're like a wine connoisseur or something, or like a chocolatier, you probably can't tell the difference. I mean, so like at the end of the day, I'd rather buy a $5 chocolate bar instead of buying a $300 chocolate bar because what's the point?
Ken Lipson, thank you for the $5 super chat. Epic Mike, you say it like it's a bad thing. American food is the best for naps afterwards.
The reason I say it's a bad thing is because your body putting you to sleep is it trying to process what you've just put inside of it. It's like you have to be unconscious for me to figure this out right now. I need you to sleep, please. So food.
Apparently, a stone is 14 pounds.
Holy crap!
You don't do stones? Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, we do rocks.
We do stones and pounds.
We do rocks or a relative like. Oh, that's about 3 cows.
Because we'd be like,
that's like a chicken,
4,
maybe
which is
2
in stones and pounds.
Gotcha.
So you said someone gained 2
people
stones.
come back gaining 28 pounds.
It wasn't an exact example, but it's like, people always talk about putting on multiple stones when they're over there.
Really?
They just go and feast.
I just want to point this out as well.
We fry absolutely everything here.
Yeah. We put sugar in pretty much everything. We fry pretty much everything.
And salt.
So, I just want to point because I think this is really cool. I'm not a super health nut, but I learned a lot the past few years losing 40 pounds. That's awesome.
That's
very
very
cool.
Good job.
Yeah. So food.
40 freaking pounds.
Freaking love it, man.
I love food. Food's great.
Yeah, sure.
I went to a really
I don't give a fuck about food.
I
don't
just Thai restaurant the other day.
I just cook meat.
It was so good.
Wait, where'd you go?
Like a Thai restaurant. It was like phenomenal.
I had
like
a place that was like weird, like Asian Hawaiian fusion today. That was really good.
Was it good?
Really good. Yeah, it was like a bunch of. I basically had this like loaded fry dish. It was like crispy fries with like a pineapple slaw and pulled pork and like homemade barbecue sauce.
Oh, nice.
It was so good. So good.
What are like some common things that are over there, Disbrew? Like just like common food items. Like
people eat.
Oh, if you're not takeaways, like probably the most common is fish and chips, obviously.
Right,
fish and chip shops
it
everywhere.
Really is.
Unfortunately, we no longer sell them in newspaper. When I was a kid, everything used to be served in newspaper.
Would you like
That's
fish
cool.
Why
and
they
chips?
stop?
That's really cool.
That
Yeah,
was the
why would you
original
stop
stuff.
doing that? Like, I would totally. I wish all
Probably
my
because of
food
the
came in
ink was
newspaper.
poisonous or something. You know,
No.
one of those pesky health
Who
and
cares
safety
about
reasons.
that?
You know what it is. Yeah.
Who cares if you get a little cancer? You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we have sort of like fish and chip shops. Then there's sort of Chinese takeaways and curry houses a lot. Curry house has kind of become the national dish in a way. They're all over the place.
Okay, nice.
Interesting.
I think the most popular curry as well was invented over here. So that's weird.
Okay.
I think they were like, all of our local curries are too much for you, so we're just going to invent this like really weedy one for the British palate, and it just took off. It's not spicy or anything at all. It's like a curry without any of the actual curry bit.
So it's bland, basically.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Americans that do come over here and say all the food is bland, and I do think it's because you're used to so much sugar and stuff.
Right.
So
yeah,
without
right.
that, everything just seems like tasteless.
Have you
Yeah.
been
You
over
put,
here?
like
Disco?
garlic in everything.
No.
No, you haven't come to the States.
No, anything I know from the food over there is like from third hand. Although, with people like Jeremy discussing burgers all the time, I feel like I've heard a lot about your food, even though I've never eaten it.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot of burger. Like you can get a
Oh.
burger just about anywhere you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're gonna get a
we would-
burger done just about every way too.
We would never have a discussion about burgers over here. That's never been a thing, and yet it seems to be just all the time because you got so
Oh.
many different burger places.
I've talked to quite a few British people that come over here and they like freak out about some of our burgers and stuff.
There's nothing better, in my opinion, than a good burger.
Yeah.
Like just
I feel like
solid burger.
the thing.
Oh.
The my worry would be we like, let's say we worked really hard and. Oh my God.
Literally
Hold on,
always in your
go ahead.
streams.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm literally
Jay's,
always in his
Jay's a little
streams.
jealous, huh?
He was moaning that I never watched any of his videos, and so I went and looked at the red line to see what you'd watched. I watched 4 out of his last 5, and his 5th was a Johnny
Wow.
Depp video. He was like, "You never watch any of my videos." 80% watch rate, and I'm in his streams. Never comes on. Never at all.
Wow.
Never see him.
Disbrew.
He's
Disbrew
just trying to
never
guilt
comes
trip
on
you.
my channel.
When was the last time you invited him to be on your channel?
Oh,
Yeah,
no, he's in.
Has he ever
If he
invited
means
you, Jay?
on his streams, he's invited me once, and I went on. So 100% acceptance rate.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a pretty good track record there.
No, never.
Thank you for the $5.
Thanks, Jay. Appreciate
Thank
that.
you very much.
A
Drunk.
legend.
Canadian Bear. Canadian Bear.
Canadian Bear.
I've even got his pissing hat. And he's like, never comes on never
He
comes
got
on
a
the channel.
rebellion hat.
Wow. Look at
Answer
that.
for yourself. What
Look
the?
at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come
Come on, Jay.
man.
You should be grateful.
And
for
if he's
that.
like,
Man's
oh yeah,
buying
crap
your
that, it's like,
merch.
well, he's got to get shipped from America. So plan that well in advance.
Yeah, we'll get you on the stream sometime too, Jay. That'd be
Yeah,
fun.
I would love to get Disbrew over here to the States.
Yeah,
him a-
I would. Yeah,
See,
I
this
want
is
to
the
take him
thing.
to all the restaurants.
I
All of
don't
them.
disagree, but I'm more concerned about Disbrew's enjoyment of the time here. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like he'd get off the plane and be like, I've made a terrible mistake. And just get back on the plane and go back home
No,
immediately.
Okay, what I would do, I would take Disbrew to a gun range to shoot some
Mhm.
guns, and then
Wow.
go get some burgers afterwards.
Or maybe throw some axes or something. They probably do that over there, but it's freaking lit. It's
So you
fine.
guys
So
throw
we-
axes
we
in
do a
Brit-
lot of gun
England-
shooting,
in
and
England.
The
stuff?
amount of like where you can go to shoot guns is like really weird because there's like
Yeah.
designated places, and then also like where we live, some people just go down like you'll just go down like a 2-track out in
Yeah.
the middle of the woods, and it'll just be like a giant like,
I literally
like,
shoot guns in
mound of dirt.
my front yard. So
Yeah. and nobody says
Yeah,
anything.
we get killed if we did that.
Yeah, no, they
Yeah,
don't.
right. Yeah,
They
right.
don't even care. They just let you do it. They're like, yeah, as long as you're not shooting anywhere near anybody, like they don't. Yeah.
I got my AR-15 and I just go out there and just start plugging away. So
Yeah, our rules on axes and stuff is if it was on private land, you could do it. But if you take them
Okay.
anywhere off your own property, you'd.
So they don't have
axes-
like I mean here there's like actual like axe throwing like facilities where you go to like throw.
Oh, no, we don't
axes.
have
Look at
anything like
axe,
that.
dude.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, look at
Mike
that.
actually got me this axe.
Oh, that's cool. I love
and
that.
Yeah, it's
to
my-
celebrate
Is that
his channel
is that
coming
an
back.
actual
It's
like is
my,
it actual like
Viking
an actual axe?
My Ragnar axe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I
not
need
sharp.
to take it to a grinder to sharpen it, but yeah,
Okay.
They
Pretty
don't
sweet.
ship them sharp because it's dangerous to do that. But yeah.
lame.
Understandable though.
But yeah,
I
like-
mean, it makes sense.
Everybody that I knew when I looked at that axe, they were like, "Oh yeah, I grinded that thing out. It works
Yeah.
great."
Yeah.
You're like, "Oh,
No, I bought 3 military grade axes that are like they're kind of like they're not like full axes, they're kind of more like hatchets or tomahawks, but they're really good for throwing and stuff. So I'm gonna be throwing those probably
Nice.
tomorrow for a little bit. So I'm
cool,
excited.
yeah.
Love
stuff like
throwing
that's fun.
axes. It's a good time.
There's a lot of cool stuff you can do over here. I mean, also, it's just a new place. I know personally, I absolutely love visiting new places. Absolutely.
I would pay for Disper to come over here.
Dude,
Yeah.
Hang out.
and to be honest, wait, where
For
are
sure.
you? Where would you fly out from? I guess what's the closest large airport to you?
I'm central, so it'd
So
be like
London?
Birmingham, presumably.
Birmingham.
Birmingham or Manchester.
I mean, right now, I mean, currently, like if you were to come towards the end of the year to here, at least from here over there, it's like $600 flights, maybe a little bit less. I don't think that's that terrible.
We could kidnap Disper and bring him over.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ken. Appreciate
Fly him
that.
over here for
International stuff.
for the AR-15.
Remember,
fund.
Mike.
Appreciate that.
You're being recorded. So,
Oh,
Yeah, right.
Well, they-
yeah,
they-
don't,
so
if
don't
I
tweet that.
vanish for 7 months,
diplomatic immunity.
I'm not sure how that works. It does
I
just
don't
mean you're
know.
in a different country.
Yeah, I don't know.
I might be
We'll
coming
figure it
towards. I might be coming to Ireland at the end of the year.
What?
Mm.
What are you going to Ireland for?
It's a possibility for work.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
Is that going to be like a paid thing then? And they're going to
potentially if
That'd be
my
sick.
manager actually makes it happen. But
Nice.
Oh,
yeah,
Look at you.
so
Look
I'd
at
be
you,
over
Bet.
actually
in,
pretty dope.
That is cool, actually.
No,
Um,
we'll save the rest of the harassing questions for Disparu about his country.
Yeah.
What? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I show him his hat. He's like, yeah, you've got to follow him now.
Yeah, go make sure you
have
check
to
him
get
out,
drunk
man.
on side.
He's pretty awesome. Yeah, he never comes on my channel though.
$5 from Drunk 3PO. Thank you. Appreciate that, Jay. Make sure you are following my main man Disparu on the tube. Yep. Ruthie should be in the chat dropping links for Disparu's channel and stuff. So
Oh, we
make
got
sure
a
you
mod in
go
our chat?
check him out. And yeah. Yep, good old Ruthie. Thank you, Ruthie, for being here. I really do appreciate it. Cooking with Ruthie. She's awesome. She's always been a huge supporter of the Geeks and Gamers community and all of the tentacles that spread out from there and stuff. So really appreciate that a lot, Ruthie. You're awesome.
Yep.
And there she is right there. Thank you for the $4.99. What kind of pizza do you each like? Pepperoni and
Ooh.
pineapple with jalapenos for me.
All right,
I'll
let's
hear
start from the top. Just how you
All
go
right,
first.
Yeah.
Well, for me, you just can't beat a pizza with pepperoni and jalapenos. Like that to me is just like the best.
I mean, it's a cop-out answer. You just stole her answer. So
And well, not the
I think she-
pineapple.
pineapple.
No, not the
Yeah,
pineapple.
the abomination.
Frick the pineapple.
no,
Yeah.
dude, pineapple and pizza is legendary.
It depends. It depends on how it's done. If it's a Hawaiian
Oh, no,
pizza,
it's
Hawaiian
delicious.
pizza is the most disgusting pizza ever invented.
You're gonna hate what I have to
absolutely
say about pizza.
horrible.
I already
I-
hate what you have to say, and you haven't said it yet.
But pineapple can be good on pizza if it has the right contrast. So if you do pineapple, jalapeno,
But,
chicken,
but-
and bacon,
but
perfection.
What about
Well,
pen, pineapple, apple, pen?
Perfection. No, don't even start.
okay, so you're
Man's gonna put like
all right.
tuna on it and all kinds
But
of stuff.
when
I
it
can
comes to
tell.
pizza, I will eat most any kind of pizza. It doesn't matter. Pepperoni, as long as it has some sort of meat on it, I'm usually okay with it.
You're a carnivore.
Man meat pizza.
I do like my meats, All right, Disparu.
What about you?
Yeah, just meat feast. As many different
I'm
types
in.
of meat as you can
I'm
shove on
in.
the
Do you
thing.
like-
just
like
pile it
the-
high, sell it cheap. That's all
there
I
you
want
go.
from me.
Lots of cheese and meat. That's
With the whole pineapple
Yeah.
thing, I'm like, no, if you're going to start putting fruit on it, apart from tomatoes, I know the technicality, it gets away with it with the exception. But you might not start shoving apples and all kinds of stuff on it if you're going to go that far. For me,
Mhm.
no.
Mhm.
Keep to the
Do they have any
legitimate
like
topic.
chain pizza places over there like they have over here? Like, do they have like Domino's over there?
We have, Domino's. There's two of the main ones. I forget the other one because Domino's is the one I always use. We've also got like
Yeah.
Pizza Hut. Not
Okay,
amazing.
Okay.
Pizza Hut, Domino's, classic.
Yep.
No.
And I can't
Domino's is
Papa
better than
John's.
Pizza Hut. From what I
Papa
understand.
No, Papa John's we've got. That's the one I can't stand.
Oh,
But I
yeah.
have
I'm
heard
not- I
that
don't
our
like Papa
Domino's
John's,
is
so.
totally different to yours because apparently it's
Really?
not good
Secret-
over there. It's good
Yeah.
over here.
The
So,
the
I
secret
don't know.
ingredient in Papa
how it's
John's
run.
is racism. So
Yeah, Domino's is not that great over here. So
I was gonna say the secret to most American cheap pizza restaurants is cardboard. So
Little
the
Caesars
secret-
is literally the
Same
best
over here.
of all the
Yeah, Little
of
Caesars
chain-
actually has the
chain
best
pizzas.
pizza because of the price.
Little Caesars is cheap, but it's actual
It's
trash.
cheap, but it's actually pretty. No, it slaps.
It's
If
better
you-
than Domino's.
If you can get a really good Little Caesars pizza where they just slap a ton of like cheese and meat, but then they also put they're like garlic like sauce on it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's over.
I
mean, our
But
cheap
then-
pizza is basically just bread. You
That-
just
oh,
take the
gotcha.
topping off.
Oh yeah, no, they Little Caesars kind of slaps over here, but also the next day if you eat too much of it, you definitely have the squirts.
Oof. Well,
Ooh, yeah, that's not a good sign of a good takeaway.
I'm not. I can't say I understand that problem, but you know,
Not that, it's not even diarrhea. My body's just like, get this out now. Let's go. It's time to evacuate.
All right, Mike. What's your pizza of choice?
Well, you already know. I am like a complete pizza snob, and not in a good way. Like, oh, a high class pizza. I literally like pepperoni on my pizza, and I can accept different kinds of meat. I like you could do like load it up with a ton of meat. I'm fine with that, other than sardines. But when you start getting into any other territory, you put any vegetables on it, you put any fruit on it, anything like that, we're fungus on it, we're done. We're done. There's no fungus. Oh yeah, I can like stomach through that. No, it is disgusting to me.
What about onions?
No, you don't even fuck with me about onions. Well, that is all. I know none of it. I can't handle it because there's no line. Once you put any kind of vegetable on a pizza, that's when you start getting artichoke pizza. No, they won't stop because this is how we got pineapple on pizza in the first place. Somebody was like, "I'm gonna put this shit on a pizza," and the next thing you know, you start getting like weird ass
degeneracy.
That's what I'm saying. It leads to people creating pizza joints where they don't even have pepperoni on the menu. They put like
okay. I don't think I've ever seen that, Mike.
You know what, Ben? You don't know. I've seen it.
I think there would be a ton of outrage if there was a pizza place that
pepperoni is like a staple for pizza. I mean, you
would think so, but I just
you would think so. It's on like every menu.
No, listen, I've been to pizza places where they don't have pepperoni. I have actually been to pizza places where they don't have pepperoni on the menu.
I have a really hard time believing that.
I just don't believe it.
They have like high class sausage and stuff like that because they get pretentious about it. And I think that the pretentious pizza places started when somebody was like, pineapple is acceptable. You can't allow that to happen. Somebody put mushrooms on a pizza. Mike, why would you put fungus on a pizza? There's no reason to do it. No, it's not good. It's foul. They're like, listen, I found this growing outside on a log. Time to cut it up and put it on your pizza.
Yeah,
absolutely not.
I'm not sure this is snobbery or just basic.
It's a little bit of both.
Dude, mushrooms on pizza is a pretty normal thing.
Yeah, it's like
I call it snobbery because I look down on everybody that thinks differently than I do. But it's very basic because it's literally just pepperoni.
All right, Ben, what's your pizza of choice?
Don't fucking do this. Don't even let them talk about it.
I already regret this. I already regret this.
I have 3 that I really love. But if I were to go with like my ultimate favorite toppings, I would probably go olives.
God fucking damn it.
No, already.
Hold on.
No, keep going. I'm already
upset to a great start.
Pepperoncini rings.
What?
Yeah. And pineapple.
What?
No. Say that again. What was that? I actually didn't.
Pepperoncini. Yeah, like the yellow peppers. Yellow, mild yellow peppers.
Banana peppers?
That's, okay, they're called pepperoncini. Why couldn't you just call
banana peppers, Ben?
Okay, you know what? Mike,
He's trying to be all fancy. He's trying to be all fancy with it.
Pepperoncini.
That's one combo that I like.
Color, yeah.
But I really like bacon and onion together. Bacon and onion is really good.
That's good. That's delicious.
Yeah, pepperoni though. I'm just a sucker for pepperoni. Like that is such a classic flavor. You just can't go wrong with pepperoni.
Yeah, totally.
You really can't.
That's actually a lot better than I was expecting. I thought you were going to go sweet corn and fish.
No. I'm actually, fun fact, I'm actually allergic to corn.
That's
true.
There
you go. Yeah.
So
yes.
Can't have it.
I just want to highlight this. Love the D&D stuff, by the way. Shout out. Thank you, 16-bit. Appreciate that. Yeah, Disbrew and Mike are over there on the D&D channel for Geeks and Gamers every Wednesday doing a stream for that. So, or is it Thursday? Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. Yeah. There's so much crap going on. I can't remember.
We have so many freaking streams now for
But Thursday nights. So make sure you go check that out. Ruthie, if you're able to, if you can grab a link and drop that in the chat, that'd be great. Canman 1984. Thank you for the $5 super chat. I'm sorry, Josiah, for that pizza opinion. I hope Mike makes you go missing for several months again.
I mean, what pizza opinion was that bad?
For saying having meat on pizza?
No, I think it was the pineapple part that you allowed that to even exist.
No.
Hey, I'm just telling you, try it. Try it.
Yeah, dude, try it.
No.
I agree with that.
No. It's the perfect combination. Chicken,
I will tell you this.
Bacon,
ready for this?
Pineapple, jalapenos. You get the
chicken, bacon, and ranch
is spicy.
I have had.
It's So
I
good.
have inadvertently and on purpose eaten pineapple on pizza, and both times I wanted to throw up.
Well, you're
It's
Mike.
disgusting.
Mike, that sounds like
You don't
a
even like
problem.
onions.
Well, because onions are fucking disgusting.
No, they're not.
They're not
so
good in any context.
See, you are weird.
No,
So-
it's not weird at all. They're gross.
You probably don't like garlic
You
either.
can literally find them like growing like outside in like the wild.
Mike,
Once
you
again,
don't even. You don't like flavor.
What are you fucking talking about? I love garlic on stuff. I use garlic. I use all kinds of spices, Ben.
Yeah, onions
I just
and
don't
garlic are
I
basically the same
I
thing.
even use onion powder. A little bit of
That's
it.
just
Not
weird.
a lot. But
That's
I
just
don't.
weird.
Fucking onions are disgusting. Okay, they overpower everything that they're in. Everybody they cut up way too many of them. Throw way too many of them in whatever foods that they're making. They're foul. They make your eyes water. They literally make your eyes water when you cut them because your body's saying, "Do not eat this."
If
Do
they're
not
overpowering
your
everything
body.
you're eating, then it's probably a bad onion.
No, it's
Probably
not.
doing something wrong.
This thing, Josiah, they're in everything, and every time anybody puts onions in shit, all I can taste is the onion. Okay, it's fucking disgusting. Okay, I can't handle it.
Are you saying that you don't like ogres?
Yeah,
No,
ogres are like
ogres, yeah.
onions, Mike. Come on.
But it's ogres are like onions, not ogres.
Why do you
are
hate Shrek?
onions. I don't hate Shrek. Ogres are like onions. It does not mean ogres.
Mike,
are
why do you
onions.
hate layers?
So I hate
I
onion
just like-
layers.
I just like that Mike had an opinion that everyone could agree with. You don't put pineapple on pizza, and then Josiah just baited him. And like, what about onions? And he went to an opinion that nobody could agree with, and he
'Cause
lost
he
the
knows
entire audience.
Josiah's
That was
he
one of
knows
the
that I
best
will
argumentative
die.
techniques I've seen.
I will
Let's
die
just
on
be
this
honest.
hill. He knows that onions trigger me. They're so fucking disgusting. Like I've
I
literally
can't-
had people try to say, "Oh, it's okay. We cut them up really small." I'm like, I don't give a fuck how small they are. They still taste disgusting.
I still taste them on there.
I think the problem is
The
you,
only
Mike.
the only compromise that I've ever found with onions, and this is
Yeah.
because
there's a compromise, huh?
Unfortunately for me, as wonderful as the woman I married is, she also has this horrible trait about her that she likes onions. She bought shallots and she'll cut them up really
It's almost too
small.
much.
And shallots are just mild enough for me that they don't fuck up the entire meal, but I can still taste them. They still make my eyes water really bad. I can be in another room with the door closed, and I can still I know when she's cutting onions because they make my eyes water from
Wow.
like two
What?
rooms over.
Mike, I think
That's not
maybe-
normal.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah, I
just
think
have
maybe something's
health
wrong.
problems.
I don't
Maybe you
give a
go
fuck.
to the hospital.
No, maybe the onions are so fucked up, and my body is so attuned to not
Mike,
like dealing with evil and putting trash in my body, other than
Mike.
Little Caesars.
Well, I
that
know that's not
can't
true.
deal with onions.
Mike, blink twice if you need help.
He would, but she's cutting onions in the other room. But look, he's not in tears right now.
Oh mercy.
Poor Mike.
Poor Mike. He can't blink now.
I'm really
He's
concerned.
so fucking
Oh no, he's
really
just
concerned.
still. He was adding flashbacks to the horror.
Listen, onions are fucking disgusting, and nobody can tell me any differently. And then
Oh.
this is the thing: when you allow onions to stand, and people go, "Well, we'll just put a little bit in here, a little bit in there," you inevitably get some asshole that walks up and goes, "I eat onions like apples," and they bite into onions like
I've done that.
It's fucking disgusting. That's what I'm saying.
No, it's
You
good.
can't-
It's
There's
beautiful.
no line.
Mm.
There's no end to it
Mm.
with onions. Onion
What about
people.
spring onions?
Yeah, what about spring
I don't
onions?
know what the fuck a spring onion is.
They're like the ones on the green stem. You just
I think
eat the
that's what
end
he's.
bit.
I think that's.
Oh, the green. Yeah.
Like
We
the
call
leeks?
those. Yeah, I can't handle
They're not
those either.
leeks.
They're too strong.
Oh, dude,
We
leeks.
just call those. Well, we have green onions,
Yeah.
which are like the
Yeah,
thinner green
my-
stems.
My grandmother used
then
to
there's
have wild
leaves, which are
onions
the
growing
thick
out in her
ones.
backyard, like just naturally growing out there. And as a kid, one time I pulled one up, got it on my fingers, and like it made my eyes water. And I was like, "This is
Dude,
disgusting."
we used to go like look for leeks in our backyard. Back when we had like 10 acres of land, and I was with like my whole family, and we would go back and like look for leeks. We would just pull them out of the ground and just eat them.
Yeah,
Master
Yeah,
Bread
same.
Band's on it. The
So
hidden crunch
good.
of an onion is like the worst. When you eat something you don't know that there's an onion in it, and you
Oh.
bite into it, and you hear crunch.
No, that makes
and
me
then
happy.
immediately it explodes
Yeah,
in your mouth,
people-
and all you taste is onion.
No, all you
sounds like a
taste
good
is
onion.
pure flavor.
Onion.
It
nut
means it's
in your
fresh.
mouth.
If like if you bite into a burger and it crunches the onion, it's fresh onion.
Yeah,
that
like
means it's
there's
disgusting.
nothing better than that, Mike.
but wait, Mike, don't you like Funyuns?
I
don't
like
know if there's
Flamin'
a
Hot
Funyun.
Funyuns.
Funyuns
And
aren't actual.
You don't know what a
onions,
Funyun
though.
is? Yeah, they're not even real onions.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
like regular
but-
Funyuns very much.
Oh, onion rings.
I don't even like onion rings. No, they're not. This is the thing. They're like dehydrated chips.
It's
that
like
kind of
fake.
vaguely taste like
yeah,
onions.
it's weird. It's weird.
It's
Oh,
really
yeah.
bad. It's,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, they're
I don't
awful.
recommend eating them. So
They're a disgrace to actual onion fans.
flaming hot Funyuns are kind of slap.
Mike,
If I
you
don't have
would
another
like
option.
Funyuns because you don't like onions.
Yeah, because onions are fucking disgusting.
Yeah, Funyuns are disrespectful.
That's even better. If it offends onions and onion fans, then I will eat more Funyuns. If tomorrow they were like all the onions in the world are gone and all we have are Funyuns left, I'd be like, good. The world's a better
Be
place
like,
for
wow.
it.
So yeah, totally. Yeah.
I'll die on
Yeah,
this hill.
totally.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely.
I'll watch it happen.
I won't.
And then when you eventually die, because you lose the battle, I'll stand on
said,
top of your body and bite into a fat, juicy onion.
Josiah, I take it back. For Mike's onion opinion, I want you to put him in the ground.
I'll just wear goggles and I'll cut up an onion. You won't be able to see me coming because your eyes will be watering too much because the thing doesn't want you to eat it.
My eyes will water sometimes.
The
but
food
not
is
that much.
actively telling you, leave me the fuck alone, stop cutting me, and you're like,
I think it's all just you.
I think that's
Mike.
for most foods, isn't it?
You are the problem here.
Listen, when
and
was the last time
the
your
sooner
eyes
that you
watered
accept
when you
that
cut
you are
an
the
apple,
problem,
Peru?
the sooner
That's my
we can move
question.
on.
When was the last time your eyes watered when you cut an apple?
Well, that's different, as I think they evolve so that the seed survives through you. That's the only reason.
Okay,
Onions
well,
don't
when was
have
the-
that, and
My
cows
eyes
run
don't
away.
water when I
So
cut
you know,
peppers. My eyes don't water when I cut peppers.
yeah, but isn't it the spices of peppers that we like is designed to make you not want to eat it? But we've kind of bred it down to a manageable level.
Like I know because my eyes don't water when I cut it. That's all I'm saying. The thing
Yeah,
actually
your taste
tells
buds
you
are
to
meant to be
stop
going, ah!
before
Just
you put
because, I mean, there's lots of things that can make your eyes water. Doesn't mean it's bad.
like what?
Yeah,
Like
getting
happiness.
like, yeah, you
Happiness
could
doesn't
get.
make my eyes water.
You've never like had tears of joy.
Tears of joy. That's a completely different
Like that isn't that literally what happened
Then
on your Twitch
a
channel?
chemical
Like a
reaction,
week
Mike.
ago,
A
where
chemical
people
reaction.
get you to cry
No,
on your Twitch
chemical
channel.
reaction.
Wait,
because
hold
of
on.
a
I
point
missed
is
that.
telling you, do
Happiness
not
is
eat me.
upset. Do you not
It's
want
like
people to
that-
send
it's like
you
people that
crap
eat fucking
on your
cactuses.
Twitch channel?
No, listen.
Wait.
It's like people that eat fucking cactuses. The thing has spines on it and says, leave me alone. And somebody's like, I'm going to cut this up and eat it. I swear to God.
Mike
Like, that's what
cried
happened
on
with
his Twitch
onions.
stream?
Some guy dug it out of the ground and he shoved it in
missed
his
that.
mouth. And he went, wow, it made my eyes water and I don't like the taste. But I'm going to keep shoving it in my body.
I think
It's like
what Mike
fucking
is saying
coffee.
here, chat, is that Mike no longer wants any support on his Twitch channel because it got him to cry with sadness instead of joy. Is that what you're saying?
But how would
What
he
the
know
hell-
the difference?
What the hell
He
was
just knows he's crying.
onions being fucking disgusting and me being happy because of the support of my Twitch channel?
Because I'm
have
just
to
trying
do
to make the
anything.
point
They
that
don't
just
correlate.
because
Once
you have
again,
tears of
just
joy-
because an ogre is like an onion does not make an ogre an onion. They're not the same things.
Well,
Mike, why do
Shrek
you hate
literally
onions?
says
It's a chemical. He didn't say ogres are onions. He said
No.
ogres are like onions because
yeah,
of the
because they have
layers.
layers.
Not
Yeah.
because they both stink.
Do you have
like
layers,
Donkey
Mike?
implied. No, Donkey implied it's because you both stink, and he said no.
No,
So-
that's not the reason.
Yes, it's because they're not. They're
It's
not
because
onions.
Onions
But
and
onions do
ogres are
stink.
both complex, and you need to
Mhm.
enjoy the
Onions are not
complexities. They're
complex.
beautiful.
They're not complex.
Beautiful.
They're not beautiful at all.
No, they're beautiful.
I've been sitting here thinking you're saying ogres, as in the monster.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are
Shrek.
you actually talking about, or is this food?
Have you ever
Because
seen
you have
Shrek?
them weird names for food. Like
Oh yeah, no, Shrek.
we call
You know?
we call them gherkins, and you call them pickles. But we have pickles, so I don't know what you call pickles.
Wait,
What is a
what are
Hey, what-
your pickles then?
Pickles. We don't have another word for them. I don't know. Like,
What do they look like? Like what are they?
I'm
well,
gonna
our
look this
pickle,
up.
like, do you have like pickled onions? That
Yeah.
comes from pickles. Our
disgusting
pickles.
because they're
Oh. Well,
We could
now,
also
wait,
have
would you
pickled
call
gherkins,
pickles
but
any
you'd call them
pickled thing?
pickled pickles. So that I don't know what's going on there.
So wait, so you
Okay, here we go. I
anything
got it
that's
right here.
pickled, you call pickle.
gherkins are a smaller kind of cucumber that have been pickled.
uh-huh.
Pickles are
They don't have to be
cucumbers that have been
pickled.
pickled in brine or vinegar. That's what it says here.
No, a gherkin is just.
You mean Google is
Gherkins are
wrong?
pickles. Gherkins are pickles, whereas pickles are not gherkins. They may just be pickled cucumbers. And I think we have pickled cucumbers here, not gherkins. And I think we all just assume they're all the same thing. We just call them all pickles.
Well, we do have like the small little pickle things too.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
when
have you
I
guys ever
search
had
for it, it
pickled
just says-
eggs?
A gherkin is very just a close relative to a cucumber, but it doesn't have to be pickled.
okay.
Ah, gotcha.
So we just call all of it pickles.
Dude, you know what's delicious is pickled eggs. So
Eh.
good.
Blah.
All right,
Eggs
you know
are
what?
Pickled
gross.
stuff in general, it's like unless it's the end of the world, I probably won't
Wow.
need it.
I love pickled stuff.
I'd rather have a fresh egg, the one that's
Don't
sat in
let-
some juice for a year.
That's fair.
I just don't want people. Listen, do not let Josiah gaslight you here. I have no hatred for Shrek. I love Shrek. Shrek is love. Shrek is life. But onions are fucking disgusting.
Shrek is great. I don't know what your problem is, Mike. So,
I don't have a problem with Shrek. I never did.
but which is the best Shrek?
Why do you hate
Probably
Shrek,
Shrek.
Mike?
Shrek 2 is probably the best Shrek.
Shrek 2
Shrek
is
1
like,
is really fucking great, but Shrek 2 is pretty
Yeah.
pretty fucking baller.
Shrek 2 is just like a masterpiece. Like,
Have
it's
you
pretty
seen
great.
Shrek? Disparu?
No.
That's why he doesn't know what we're talking about.
No,
How have you
not at
not
all.
seen-
The
how have you
only
not seen
person, do you know Wayne Rooney, the footballer?
Nope.
No.
I'm gonna
There's a
look him up
meme
now,
of
then.
him as Shrek, and it fits. It's perfect. Like he's the exact replica. People were calling him Shrek for
Really?
ages. He got really annoyed.
What's
Yeah,
his name?
'cause
Holy
Wayne
shit, yeah.
Rooney.
Wayne Rooney.
I
Yeah,
see
he's
that
like one of
now.
the highest paid footballers in the country, and it like
Oh,
every
wow.
time he cheated on his wife, it came out he just like increased her monthly allowance like every time, and it'd be like you're punching way above your weight, and everyone just started calling him Shrek, and he got really got to him.
Wow.
He really does look like Shrek, though.
Yeah,
Wow.
there's like the people have merged the faces, and you can't tell the difference.
I gotta look
That's
it up now.
so funny. That's really funny.
Yeah, if you just type Wayne Rooney Shrek or something,
I'm trying to find a good picture to show the chat here.
It's absolutely. Oh no, I'm not gonna. I almost
Fantastic.
said it's absolutely amazing, and I can't, that phrase has now been completely taken off the board.
Absolutely amazing. Yeah.
Wait, why? What happened? I missed something.
That's
With the
Trump
absolutely
3PO.
amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah. So yeah, quickly, I'll catch you up on the meme while Josiah's looking this thing up.
yeah.
Ryan, Jeremy, and Drunk Jay, they all went to like a gun range and they got to shoot guns at this company. I don't remember what the name of the company is, but anyways,
Somebody's
they had to
messed
shoot
up.
guns at this range. And at the very end, they were shooting a video for it and everything. And at the very end, Ryan goes, "This was a great time. I had an awesome time." Blah 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 blah. Jeremy goes, "All right, Jay, what'd you think?" And he goes, "Absolutely amazing." And that's all he fucking says. And Jeremy goes, like, "Oh fuck,
That's
that's all
it.
he said."
Is
That's it.
Google down? I can't even Google anything. That's weird.
Oh really?
Is it?
Dude, imagine
Oh,
if
no, now
Google
it's
actually
working.
went down.
It's probably
Bing
crazy.
worked,
Onions.
Google didn't, but now it's loaded finally.
Yeah. So there he is, everyone. There he
Mumble
is.
and Burke
What a
asked, "Does he have
mad lad.
layers?"
Holy crap!
What? Oh,
Holy
What
Goddamn.
the heck?
Betty Boop with a $50 super chat.
Way to go, Betty Boop. What a legend.
Holy cow, Betty!
you want me
Thank
to
you
read it?
so much. Joe effin Saya, best saxophone player. Epic effin Mike. Well, kicks off. Dispa effin Rue, the Dragon, and Ben.
To be determined.
decided. To be determined. Happy Saturday, gents. Thank
Happy
you so
Saturday.
much.
thank you.
Thank you so
Very
much,
freaking
Betty.
happens to happy Saturday.
I don't like that you didn't read it right, but that's fine.
Well, you know, it's yeah.
Jofkin Saya.
There we go. I'm okay with that one.
Epic Kin Mike. Dispafknru.
There we go.
And
And
Ben.
Ben. You
And
can't really
Ben.
put. You can't really
Dude,
put.
Betty
it in there
Boop, thank
at
you
all,
so much.
What a
Betty,
legend.
seriously. Wow, thank
Yeah.
you so much, Betty. I appreciate
Tip
that.
of the cap.
I can't believe Disparate hasn't seen Shrek.
Yeah, that's insane.
I've not seen a lot of the animations.
Yeah,
Wow.
we'll have to
I've seen,
make
like,
What are
The
like
Incredibles.
some? Are there any animated
Minions.
movies that you like?
No, I haven't seen Minions. I'd seen what's the one where they scare kids all the time?
Monsters Inc.
That one. I've seen The
Yep.
Incredibles and
That's a
Monsters
good
Inc.
one. That's a good one.
Another
I mean, you
very,
picked two
very
good
good
ones.
trilogy is How to Train Your Dragon. If you've
How
never
to
seen
Train Your
those,
Dragon is good.
excellent
Yeah.
trilogy of movies.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, How to Train Your Dragon is actually like beyond just like, oh, this is
It's-
fun kids movies. They're
they're
actually like
incredible.
really fucking good movies.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Disparate, it's okay when we bring you over here, we'll just make you watch all of the animated movies you haven't
Yeah.
seen, and you will wish you never came over.
I don't think that's what Disbrew. I don't think that'll get Disbrew over here. So
we'll go and shoot guns, and then we'll be like, "Hey, real quick, we got to go check this thing out." And we'll lock the door.
What would be what would
Shrek would
tempt
be
you the
playing.
most to come over here?
Guns.
yeah,
Okay.
that's what I like to hear.
We
That's
have
what
a
I
team
like
have
to
to
hear.
think about that one. I'm just,
Yeah.
like over here, there's not really an appetite for any of it. If you ask
Yeah.
people, they'd just be like, "No, I don't think we need them." But I've always been the exception for me. I've always loved them. Any movies to do with guns and everything, I think are awesome. I think they're cool
And
things.
this is why Disbrew is the coolest Brit living today.
Fucking
So.
based.
Well, yeah,
absolute legend.
like lots of people will look at sort of like hills and mountains and go, "That's beautiful," but I see like guns and think, "No, that's." It's the piece of engineering that it is. That's what I kind of like. So
Yeah, pretty cool.
yeah.
Make some
That's
really
awesome.
fucking cool.
The way
guns.
they work is actually quite fascinating too. So
Yeah, you point them.
Especially when you go into like the
whatever behind
recoilless AKs and stuff with the bolt that goes back to
Yeah.
balance out all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I like the technical aspect.
well, I'm,
Yeah.
I'm sure you would love it here then because there's literally so many places that you can shoot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, I have a couple of guns. I'm working on getting a couple of handguns right now as well, but we could definitely go to like one of the gun ranges where they just have like tons, tons of
there's
different types of guns
there's
and
tons,
stuff.
and you can just like pay for time and then pay for
Yeah,
ammunition.
that'd be
and
so fun. That'd be such
And
a
then
good
there's a
time.
place around here that lets you fire a 50 cal too.
That'd be sick. That'd be
Yeah.
really sick.
That's actually going to a range has been something I've wanted to do for a while. I just haven't had anybody to go do it with. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
that'd
like
be fun.
I think they do have ranges here, but there's so many rules and it's made so difficult to go to. Most people don't. And
you
if-
probably
then
have
if
to
you
get like
go
a
there-
background check or something to do it. Even
It's not so much that. I think it is just because like you wouldn't. Well, it's very difficult to own them. That's an entirely different thing. But if you just want to use their guns, then even then, I think you've got to go several times before they even allow you to shoot. Just because
Really?
everyone's like safety, all like way over the top kind of thing.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then what you get is very limited. Like you wouldn't have handguns. I think the only handguns we're allowed is like black powder ones, literally the manual loading
Oh wow.
stuff.
Yeah.
Muzzle loaders, really.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that would be. Imagine like somebody
It's the
like robbing
idea.
somebody with that.
Exactly. The idea behind all of the rules is anything you have, you may be able to get one shot off, and then it's going to take you so long to do anything. That's it. So
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, here I think like for the most part, basic gun safety you can run through in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
all about just not being an idiot with it.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
because it is. I mean, it is a like deadly tool, but
Yeah.
it's like you got to remember that. But at the same point, like it's not hard to be safe with that. So
Mhm.
but I've
Yeah.
used bows and crossbows and stuff,
Yeah,
and it's
and
basically the same. Don't
Yeah.
point the thing at people.
Exactly,
As long as you do that, you're fine.
Well, it's the
Right.
same thing with like people can use like electric handsaws and all these like chainsaws and all
All
sorts of
super
stuff.
dangerous.
Like any
Yeah.
of those things could be dangerous if used the wrong way. So
yeah,
I
or if not
argue-
handled correctly.
I would say arguably like something like a chainsaw is way more dangerous because like
yeah,
yeah,
especially
usually
to yourself. Like
yeah, I've used
absolutely.
chainsaws for years, and some of the stuff that you like find out on the fly. Yeah, like I've had
Right.
chains. I had a chain get pinched one time. And the whole
Yep.
thing snapped and flew off and like swung.
Mhm.
And
And you like kick back towards your own face.
oh
even
yeah,
if
the
you're-
kickback. Yeah, the kickback's awful. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you'd be
Yeah,
cutting.
I
and
would
hit
be-
something and
Mhm.
I'd be far more scared of a chainsaw than I would of a gun any day of the week.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I used
for
to
sure.
know
So,
a guy who had like a huge scar. It was like from here to here because he had a chainsaw kick back on him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man,
You ever seen
that's
those
crazy.
tree surgeons and they just like will cut the tree and they just let it go and it falls to the ground and then like pull it up on a rope and stuff? I'm like,
Yeah.
how on earth you just don't lose various body parts every day? I have
Yeah,
no idea.
that's insane.
There's some
Yeah.
people like if you ever watch like artists who use chainsaws to make like wooden sculptures, like how skilled they are with that thing is unreal.
Yeah,
Like I don't know how
Mhm.
they do it. It's crazy. And
Yeah.
chainsaws are not light; like they're heavy.
yeah, they're
Mm.
heavy. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I had.
it's
I mean,
absolutely wild.
I used one for years and years and years and years, and then my buddy had one that was like 2 sizes bigger than what I was using, and he's like, "I'm just gonna tell you right now, I know you've been using it, so you know all the rules, blah blah. But I'm gonna tell you right now, this thing is a completely different animal, and when you kick it on, it's really heavy." But like the amount of power, like when you bite into like a piece of wood, it pulls you with it. So you have to like actually like lean back to keep the like counterweight it and stuff. That stuff's scary. And a
Yeah.
gun, you're like, you can point it and shoot it, just don't point it at anybody else.
Yeah,
Regardless.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's not going
Yeah.
to do anything unless you do something to it. Whereas a
Yeah.
chainsaw, if you just let it go, it's still going.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Yep. Totally.
Facts.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I just want to point this comment out real quick. Can anyone tell me what epic verse is? We making our own movies?
Oh,
Oh.
wow.
What do you think, Mike?
Isn't that a classified
It is a classified
Subject?
project. Just
Yeah.
another guy. I can
Yes.
tell you this: we are working on a couple projects. If you know what me and Josiah are all about, you know we love movies. You know we love media. So I would think it's safe to say that that could be a good assumption on what we might be working on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
We can't really get into details because we're trying to, just like with Rippa and the Rippaverse, like Rippa mentioned that he was working on the Rippaverse and it blew up and everybody's like, what are you doing stuff? We want to be ready with whatever projects we got going on before we announce exactly what we're doing and exactly how it's all going to work. But
Yep.
there you go. Epic Verse.
We do have a Twitter page that you can go check out for it. If you could go follow us over there, that way you can keep up to date about everything that we're doing with that.
100%.
We also do have let me see if I can pull it up here. Right there. We do have a YouTube channel for as well. Obviously, we don't have anything on the YouTube channel yet because we haven't released anything, but we will be soon.
Just wait.
And
Just wait.
so if you guys want to go subscribe over there, you can. Epic Verse Studios on Twitter and on YouTube.
I
So,
promise
I
you
think-
guys, when the time is right, you will know everything and you'll be very excited. So,
Yes, it'll be awesome. It'll be awesome when we do announce things. So
Legendary.
it'll be. I'm very, very excited for it. So
Yeah.
and I think you guys are going to be pretty blown away by what we're doing. So it's going to be awesome. Thank you for that, Just Another Guy. Appreciate that question. Yeah.
Well, I think it was a good segue
Yeah.
into our next thing.
Uh-huh.
We kind of wanted to talk this week. May's kind of, I wouldn't say a crazy big month, but it should be a bigger month for some movies and stuff
Mhm.
like that coming out. And so we kind of wanted to go through it. They had CinemaCon this month. We kind of wanted to go
that's right.
through and see, okay, cool. What kind of stuff is coming out? What are we interested in? What are we looking forward to? And kind of hear everybody's opinions and thoughts about all of that. So.
Yeah. So, as far as I don't know, maybe Disbro can kind of help fill us in on what are some games that are coming out in May and stuff as well.
Yeah,
but,
I don't know anything that's going
as far as movies go, we have for the first weekend we have Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very curious. How do you all feel about that? What are your thoughts going into Doctor Strange 2 and stuff?
For me, it was the only Marvel movie of this entire sort of phase that I even cared about, because it's the one from the before. And Doctor Strange, out of all of them, in the Avengers and everything, he was always my favorite character. I obviously liked him from Sherlock, so I already knew him from before.
Oh, yeah.
And then the more I've seen about it, the more I don't like. The more I hear, it's not like... There's all the posters which showing him he's probably not the main part of his own movie, and then the more cameos you've got in, the less screen time he's got. It's like, I want it to be a Doctor Strange movie. That's why I'm interested in the movie. And you're almost acting like he's not enough to carry his own movie, so you've got to put all this other stuff in. And it's like, but those are going to put me off it more than anything else. So I was really excited, and now I'm like, I'll go and see it because I was so interested in the first place. But if they'd launched it this way originally, I probably wouldn't have bothered.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Good
Ben?
point. I'm very excited about it. I don't really know much. I think I've just watched one trailer, so I haven't really. I've kind of gone in blind because I've heard especially some of the later stuff they've released has been pretty spoilery, and I'm not a huge fan of that. I don't love spoilers, but I loved Spider-Man. And I think this is, and I also loved WandaVision, so I think this is kind of picking up where both of those kind of left off. But I love Sam Raimi. I'm really excited to see him do a superhero movie again. So that's actually one of the biggest factors drawing me in is that. But also I love Doctor Strange, and I also love multiverse stuff. So all of those things combined makes me super excited. I think visually it looks awesome. So that's actually another thing that I'm just very excited to see, because visually it looks different than a lot of other movies have looked recently. So I think that's super cool. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. That and Spider-Man were probably my two most anticipated Marvel movies that are coming out in the next 3 years from when they announced them. Those two are the most anticipated of mine. So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mike?
I'm kind of in the same boat as Disparu. You know, I was pumped. I like Benedict Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange. My biggest complaint about Doctor Strange is that I feel like the magic wasn't as magical as I would have liked. There's a lot of Eastern
it's
like
mystical.
mysticism, and there's a lot of mysticism and stuff, and like mind over matter. And I'm like, that's part of it, and that's kind of cool. But I would have loved to have actually seen like a lot more spells and actual like maybe magic that way. But whatever. I was like, cool. It'll be interesting to see. And then we got to see Doctor Strange in Infinity War like kind of go off a little bit against Thanos, and it was awesome watching him fight Infinity Gauntlet Thanos, and we got to actually see him use spells and do weird shit, and it wasn't just mind over matter stuff. I was like, dude, that makes me really hyped to see what he does in his next movie. And then we had him in Endgame, and he doesn't really do anything except stand there and then hold his finger up once, and you're like, okay, cool, yeah, because he obviously would have wiped the floor with everybody had he actually been on.
He was gone for most of the movie anyway.
Yeah, and then I was like, I was excited when they mentioned that it was gonna have Wanda in it, because I thought the dynamic between him and Scarlet Witch would be interesting. And then I was excited when they announced Sam Raimi was coming in. I was worried when the director, I don't remember his name off the top of my head now.
Scott
Derrickson left.
Yep.
Because I actually really liked Scott Derrickson as a director. But I was excited.
Yeah.
Sam Raimi's a good director. He's good with horror. And there was a lot of rumors that this was going to be like a horror movie and a lot of weird stuff. They were going to really delve into like some dark magic stuff and all that stuff. And then as more and more news came out, like Disparu said, like it just got less and less exciting. American Chavez, okay, cool. Why is she involved in Doctor Strange's shit? And like, oh, the Illuminati is going to be involved as well. And oh, Baron Mordo's coming back, but like not really, because even though they set up that he should have been a villain at the end of Doctor Strange, not really a villain. He might just be in it for a little bit, and we'll probably won't see more of what we saw of him in the trailer in the movie. It's like, so now I'm like, okay, well, now I'm not that excited. And then I know Nightmare was supposed to be the main villain in this, and he probably still will be, but the fact that we haven't heard anything about it tells me that they course corrected a lot. And then so now you have Wanda and American Chavez, and you know that they're going to probably have a bunch of cameos and stuff in it and stuff. Now at this point, I'm like, okay, why the fuck do I want to watch this now? Like, and you can tell the way that they talked about Doctor Strange in WandaVision, because he was supposed to cameo in that, and they said, we don't need another white man in this, trying to take Wanda's credit and stuff. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but it's Doctor fucking Strange. It's not like some random dude. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's obvious that the agenda is going to affect the movie more than I would have liked it to. That's kind of how I feel.
I guess. I don't know if this is still how it is. I genuinely do think that Wanda's actually the villain of the movie.
Yeah, she should be after a TV
I think
series,
that she
but that's
is.
not seem how they're treating it.
It doesn't, but I think that's I genuinely think they're doing that on purpose. I think that she actually is the villain.
Well,
at least from everything that was a little bit of stuff that I did hear, was that they actually went a little too hardcore with her as the villain, and they had to reel it back a little bit because they didn't want people to completely hate her character. So I genuinely think that she will be the villain in the movie. I just don't think they're going to make her like murder a ton of people like they originally were going to, because that was the original report, is that she was going to go on like a bloodthirsty rampage across the MCU and just kill a bunch of people. And I don't think that's technically within her character necessarily, but I do think her being a villain is within the character's possibilities. So honestly, I think that's I genuinely think that's what they're going to do, but I don't know. I think like the evil Doctor Strange, I think that's a red herring. I think there's a lot of things that are, but I'm more intrigued to see kind of what they do for that reason. My biggest concern actually is the runtime. I know that's like a weird concern to have, but it clocks in at like just barely 2 hours or just under.
Yeah.
And that's like one of the shortest movies. So I'm like, I don't know how they're going to fit absolutely everything that they want to do in this movie in that period of time. And for all I know, they will, but that's actually one of my biggest concerns, is because I know that they're trying to do a lot with it. And that short of a runtime for a Marvel movie, like Spider-Man was running close to 2.5, 2:45, right?
Yeah.
And they had a ton of stuff packed into that movie, like a ton of stuff.
Right.
So like I said, I don't know, but I'm still pretty excited for it. I completely understand where Disparu and Mike are coming from though, and that they're not as excited about it. But I think Sam Raimi coming back to do another Spider-Man or another superhero movie alone is probably going to get a lot of people to the theater.
Yeah.
So just
Well,
that alone.
Yeah, I want to point this out because I think that this is going to be the thing that's going to be bringing back a lot of people to the theater as well. Where was it? So with Spider-Man, a lot of the reason for why Spider-Man No Way Home did so well was because of the hype built around that, who was going to be in the film and everything else. Literally, the only reason I saw Spider-Man was because of Toby. I'm so shallow sometimes, but I mean, it's not shallow. It's just like, that's something that a lot of us grew up on, was some of those older things and stuff that we would love to see. It's the same thing with Force Awakens. When Force Awakens came out and stuff, people were so excited to see their childhood heroes back on screen again, and that drew in so many people to go see that movie. And I kind of have a feeling that they're going to be trying to do some of that same type of stuff with some of the future Marvel films as well, after the success
the
of
X-Men
No
are
Way
going to be
Home.
showing up at some point,
Right. So I think that is going to be a lot of the draw for people to go see Doctor Strange.
I mean,
too.
and it makes sense because we are dealing with the multiverse. I mean, they went into that storyline, and it makes sense that they would use that to bring back all these different people. But so far, what they've done with people they brought back, especially using Spider-Man, they've done it so much better than what they did with Star Wars that it's not even a contest with how well they did in that movie. I genuinely applaud them for how well they pulled that off, because that was not easy. Like they could have easily ruined that. They could have easily ruined that, but they were actual supporting characters in their roles. They had a lot of decent, like I thought they were going to have like 5 minutes of screen time. They ended up having like 45 or 50, which was like really solid. So I think if they can continue to do stuff like that with these cameos, it won't feel cheap. I think that's the biggest thing with anything where you're bringing back legacy characters, is if you do it the wrong way, it can come off as cheap and not like genuine. And
but in a lot of ways, if that's all that you're relying on is to, bring back, older characters or whatever to try to draw people into the theater, then maybe there's something else that's wrong too with your storytelling and stuff, or whatever.
I know. I mean, once again, using Spider-Man as an example, because that was their most recent movie, I think storytelling wise, that movie was a well-told story. So like, I know that the different writers have the ability to do so. Like I mean, I'm going to acknowledge that fact, even if there's been some misses. I think that the majority of the movies I've seen, I really liked, and Spider-Man was one of my favorite MCU movies they've ever made. So genuinely loved it. So I think we won't know until we see it, I guess.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go see it because I'm just as curious as everyone else is, like who's gonna be in it and stuff, and what kind of cameos we're gonna get. And Sam Raimi, like Sam Raimi is a big reason for
what
why
a legend,
dude,
dude.
too, because he made one of the best superhero movies of all time. So
I grew up with Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man.
Yeah. So that's a big draw for me as well. But as far as the rest of, I mean, like Disru was saying, Doctor Strange 2 was pretty much the only Marvel film that they announced in this new phase that I was actually genuinely excited about. Like Eternals, I didn't give a crap. I don't give a crap about like the Marvels. Like I don't care about any of that stuff.
Which the only one that just pushed back, by the way.
Right, exactly.
Again,
which isn't even a proper Captain Marvel sequel. It's the Marvel.
I don't think they've done anything with it yet.
Because they know that she sucks and everything else. But Doctor Strange 2 was the only one that I was actually interested in seeing, because I thought Doctor Strange was a decent movie, and I was interested to see where they were going to go next with his character. So
it seems so strange to me that they're putting the cameos into movies like Doctor Strange, which already had a character that people would go and see. Whereas when the Eternals came out, I didn't go and see the Eternals because I didn't know who any of these people were. I didn't care about them. And so if you're going to put cameos in, put them in that, put Doctor Strange in that to get people over to watch the Eternals. Whereas when you're doing it with your major characters, they should be able to carry their own movies without all the extra bump.
Well, and I think he can, but the story that they wanted to tell, once again, has to do with the multiverse. And if they set it up, like Doctor Strange is one of those characters where the multiverse stories make sense with his character. And I feel like if they're going to do the multiverse, there's going to be cameos anyway. So it's like, from a storytelling perspective with that plot line of the multiverse, it makes sense that it's there. But I agree. I mean, he's like Stephen Strange, and Benedict Cumberbatch's portrayal of him is enough to get me to the theater because I like him as that character. Like, I think most people who watched, all phase 1 through 3 love his character. They really like him, and they're more than willing to go see a movie if he's in there. I mean, so they don't need it, yes, but I wouldn't necessarily say it doesn't make sense. I think that it does make sense to have all those people if they're doing a multiverse storyline.
Yeah, it was more a dig at the Eternals and stuff like that. It's like,
when
they're doing these other movies, that's where they need to add people in, whereas they think that they can carry their own movie. It's like, no, I have no reason to care about these people.
I think with Eternals, they were just relying on the name of Marvel being slapped on there to try and make a bunch of money, but at the end of the day, people like to go see characters they know, and they like to go see things like that. So I think that probably would have helped that movie succeed more than it did. Because I mean, I didn't know who anybody was. I was like, I don't know who these people are.
Yeah.
Well,
I think Marvel probably carried more weight before Endgame, and then once you've wrapped up the story, it's like, oh, okay, now you're gonna have to start from scratch.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. I agree with that. They should have known, ending this story like this, we have to go back to the beginning and build up a new story and a new continuity, like a new storyline and a new idea for people to look forward to. And it's kind of felt like after Endgame, like the MCU kind of just was like spinning its wheels. Cause like, what was it? Spider-Man Far From Home.
It was the very end of phase 3.
The end of phase 3. People are like, oh, this is the beginning of phase 4. And they're like, no, actually, this is the end of phase 3. And you're like, okay, but this didn't set up anything new. It
does technically, though.
I mean,
it does technically set up phase 4.
How?
Everything with Mysterio is setting up phase 4. I mean, literally, he mentions the multiverse. That was
but mentioning the multiverse isn't set up. Like, the multiverse in and of itself should not be the goal. I mean, if that's the goal, is the multiverse is coming, well, then why do we give a shit? Like, why is that a big problem? They never really ever expressed that. And the thing with like Avengers, what it set up was, okay, like, Iron Man sets up the Avengers. We know the Avengers are coming. That was like the big thing. And then Avengers sets up Thanos is in play now, and we know that he's a big bad, and what's going to happen with that, so there was a
but it took like 5 movies or 4 movies to even get to Thanos.
Yeah, it did, but the build-up was originally
it was the Avengers as the setup for the the
and then they were films. Like, by the way, Thanos is now in play, so Infinity War is coming down the line. So there was always something to look forward to for hardcore comic fans. But the idea of the multiverse should serve a purpose, unless they're trying to do something like a Crisis on Infinite Earths or something like that, where okay, the big issue here is that the multiverse, like Crisis on Infinite Earth, the Flash fucks up everything and they have to fix it. That's like the goal, but it's like
one of my favorite comic book storylines.
Yeah. But it's weird that they just kind of were like, oh yeah, the multiverse is a thing, and you're like, cool. What's going on though? Like, what are we building towards? Who's the next villain?
I think, and I don't know if I'm correct on this. I think that if they're going to, I mean, there's been multiple candidates for who could be the big bad for phase 4. There's been Gore the God Butcher. There's been the guy that starts with a K. Can't remember his name. And then the Celestials. I think either way, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is going to give us that main villain that's going to be the opposition for the rest of the phase 4 movies. That's what I think. But I like I said, I have no idea if that's going to happen or not. But his movie to me seems like when they're going to set that up. Because it's such a big multiverse movie. If the multiverse is such an important part of the storyline, I feel like that's when they would set that up.
And that makes sense. Yeah, I think you were talking about Kang the Conqueror.
Yes,
because he's a good bad guy, but yeah,
he's great.
The other part of it is when Marvel did something that I think was a smart call when they set up the phase. They had the movies, they had the TV shows, and all the stuff. The TV shows do not directly affect the movies. It's actually the opposite. Like, the movies affect the TV shows, but the movies are their own thing, and they don't allow the TV shows to really impact canon. The fact that you have to watch Disney Plus shows to know what's going on with what's happening in the movies and stuff, I think also alienates your audience that only goes to see your movies, because now you have to have watched WandaVision to really know what's going on with Wanda. And if you have it, you might kind of know what's going on with Wanda, you know, unless you re-explain it. And then if you re-explain it, everybody that watched WandaVision now goes, I've already seen this. I don't want to hear about it again. But,
I think there's a way to re-explain it though without making it tedious.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
I think you can summarize, but
it'll be interesting to see how they handle it.
Because I think that's what they will do in Doctor Strange. I think they will probably summarize a little bit, just through even bits and pieces of dialogue. Sometimes all you need is 3 or 4 lines of dialogue to summarize an entire storyline like that.
To be honest, I'm not like looking forward to what they're going to be doing with Marvel, because I kind of want them to just do a bunch of like smaller films in some ways that are more just like, you know, personal and driven by like the characters and their journeys.
See, I think that's what they've done with the TV shows, though.
A big bad villain or whatever and stuff.
Yeah.
So I want more stuff like just like Daredevil, basically, and things like that. So, you know,
I think and I don't know if you guys have watched this. I think that the best thing they've done television wise actually is Moon Knight. It's actually the most controversial, but I think they've done the best job with it personally.
To be honest, I haven't watched Moon Knight.
I don't have Disney Plus. Fuck Disney, so
that's fair. But I think that personally, from a writing perspective, I think that's the best written show they've done so far. And I don't know if it's just because I love anything that deals with mental health, so like that's right up my alley. But the amount of like emotional depth they go into delving into a certain character that I didn't know anything about, I thought was really cool. I thought they're telling a personal story, which I really like. Once again, it's almost like a weird smaller scale thing that doesn't really feel like it has a huge impact in anything else. It's just kind of a smaller story where they're just telling the story of this character. And I thought it was really good. It reminded me more of something like they used to do with the Netflix shows, and where it's just a personal journey of a character. And I like that. I do. Yeah. I really do like that. So.
I will never watch Moon Knight, but I'll take your word for it, Ben.
That's okay. That's okay. Oscar Isaac is a
Cooking with
legend.
Ruthie. Thank you for I agree with that. He'd literally be the only reason I'd watch it.
Dude's a freaking mad lad.
Yeah, I don't care enough about what they're doing with that. So, Cooking with Ruthie. Thank you for the $5 super chat. I've never seen Spider-Man, which I just have to say, what? Which one do you think I should watch first of all the movies? So if she's never seen Spider-Man.
If you've never seen any Spider-Man, you go back and rewatch Sam Raimi's trilogy.
Boom.
Not great, but Spider-Man 1, like Spider-Man, that is the best of all the Spider-Man trilogies. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is better than Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Yes,
I agree. As a Spider-Man story as a whole, because, So that's where you go watch.
Sam Raimi's trilogy. Absolutely.
That's where you start.
Yep, I totally agree with that. Disbrew?
Yeah, I wasn't. The thing is, I go off the orders. See, my memory for names and stuff, it was the first trilogy. This was the issue, right, with me and Spider-Man. I liked the original movies, and then I went to watch, I'm thinking it's the 4th movie, and I've got another Spider-Man and another origin story. That's what annoyed me about the Spider-Man. So, whichever was the first trilogy is the one I like.
Yeah.
I got really disappointed in the next guy, and then the current one is... He's close to the top, the first one for me, but he always seems like young and childish, and I don't like that.
That's Peter Parker.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just that.
So yeah, the Tobey Maguire trilogy, absolutely. Yeah,
he plays it entirely different to the first guy.
Yeah,
though.
He does.
Well, it depends because Tobey Maguire's is the Amazing Spider-Man. He's the original Peter Parker, who's a college student.
He's a college student.
Yeah, but then then Andrew Garfield's was, I think, the Spectacular Spider-Man, who is like just getting out of high school or whatever, and
he just graduates.
Yeah, and then Tom Holland, because there's different Spider-Man iterations. I think Tom Holland's is
he's like 16.
Yeah,
he's like classic. Yeah. He's like classic Spider-Man, where he's like a teenager. He's like a sophomore or junior in high school, and he's like learning how to be a superhero.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
Which I love that, but Tobey Maguire is what I grew up with. So.
Yeah. I mean, I think the thing that I liked about No Way Home is that it kind of like showed that he was going to be transitioning out of that boyhood type phase and into more of the, more of the man phase and stuff, which will be good. So
he's transitioning from being Peter Parker to being Spider-Man. I think.
Did you get Betty's super chat, by the way?
I'm just about to get to it right now. Yep. Oh. Betty Boop with another $50
holy cow. What a
super
legend.
chat. absolute legend. Thank you so much, Betty. I appreciate that so
Um,
much. Is Ben that little, or is Mike that big?
I don't know. That's a good question.
So first of
I'm not sure what she's talking
as
about
far
there,
as
but
we're talking about that, I mean, we already kind of know.
Physical size.
But if we're talking about right now, there's
Yep.
camera angles. I'm sitting a lot closer to my camera than Ben is sitting to his.
yes.
Also, you have that wall back there. It makes it look like
Ben
is much
does look
smaller.
very, very small.
Yeah.
But if we talk
It's
about
the
it in
whole
real life,
background.
if we talk about in real life, I am actually significantly bigger than Ben.
And you're also, but you are shorter than me.
I am shorter than Ben, but I am significantly bigger than Ben. It's not
Yes.
even.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like 6 foot, and Mike's
Ben's
like,
about 6 foot. I'm 5'10".
yeah.
So
There you go. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like a huge person, but I'm like big.
Yeah.
Just-
I am
in
significantly
build.
bigger than Ben.
oh yeah, large.
Like I could lose a significant amount of weight and still be significantly bigger than Ben.
Yes,
Right.
Could you lose a Ben and be bigger than Ben?
probably not.
You're thinking about this.
I had to think about the math here. No, I would be really small, but I would be shredded.
Mike could lose 2 stones and still be bigger than Ben. So
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I was gonna say, I feel like Josiah is probably the biggest of the two of us, like me and you.
Oh,
I think you're
100%.
probably bigger than I am.
So
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
for
I can
like
build.
yeah.
for
Yeah.
In stone language, by the way, like out of high school, Disparu, I was 17 stone.
Yeah.
And that was like I was in really good shape. Like that was
What
like
is that?
football shape.
What is that weight?
240.
240. Okay.
Yeah.
To
Nice.
be
And I was in, like,
17 stone and in really good shape is difficult.
It's not
Like
common.
you'd have to be
Yeah.
massive.
A lot of
Yeah,
that's
I was-
muscle, probably.
Mike
I
Yeah.
was really fucking
Mike
big.
can be a beast for sure. So
Yeah.
yeah. Betty
I'm
Boop,
just
thank you
fat.
once again for that super chat. I really do appreciate that a lot. So thank you so
Legendary.
much. Cooking with Ruthie with another $5 super chat. Did you guys hear they want to replace Wonder Woman with someone else? What are your thoughts on that?
I haven't
I
heard
don't know
that.
if you guys heard that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
apparently is it the Flash? I think it's the Flash. There's rumors that Wonder Woman appears in the new Flash movie, and it's not Gal Gadot, it's a different person. And that they're going to use that to reboot the Wonder Woman franchise.
Yeah.
This fool looks
Interesting.
so annoyed. He's like, oh.
I despise. This is one of my issues with Spider-Man. I despise when characters change actor. I get stuck on one guy. I see that as the guy, and anyone else, I'm like, you're just someone else wearing the suit.
See, I think an
Batman's
area where
easier because he's fully covered and stuff.
Yeah.
But when you've got like Wonder Woman,
Yeah, where you
No.
see her face. Yeah.
but also
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
love Gal Gadot, so
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's still just there's 2 ways of looking at it, and I kind of talked about this in my videos that I made about this topic and stuff. But there could be multiple things that are going on and stuff. Like one thing could be Warner Brothers trying to avoid controversy wherever they can, unless it's Amber Heard, which apparently is okay to be shitting in beds and stuff and still have roles after that. But if you're anyone else besides Amber Heard, if you step into controversy, then
Yeah.
you kind of like they kind of like reel at that a little bit. So with Gal Gadot,
what did
kind
she
of
do
like
that was controversial though?
She said
Israel.
that she supported Israel
yeah,
Oh,
during
yeah.
like one of
And
the
that was
times where they were
very,
bombing
very bad.
Palestine.
that's. I mean,
Yeah.
she's Israeli, isn't she?
Oh,
Yes.
100%, but it
Yeah.
doesn't
Yes.
that doesn't matter. They were like,
Like that's her home country.
Uh-huh. And she was in the
Yes.
military and everything.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
The
every
lady's a
metric,
freaking
But
legend.
that was
She should
that was a
support them.
period. That was a period where the media was telling people Israel is bad. And
Uh,
so then she came out in support of Israel.
Mm.
And so all of the freaks out there decided to attack her for that.
yeah.
And now she is
Immediately.
basically, part of the she was in the spotlight, and there's a lot of outrage about that, a lot of backlash about that. So
yeah, they demanded that she
Well-
apologize and she refused.
I
Yeah,
think that's
which is
ridiculous.
good.
That's what annoyed him the
you,
most.
Why would you
Yeah.
apologize by being loyal to your country?
it's
I mean, when
ridiculous.
it comes to something like that. Like I don't know the full story, but at the same point, I don't see why she did anything wrong.
She didn't
Yeah,
do
but
anything wrong.
They don't care why you're not apologizing. They care that you are
That
not.
you-
The
that you
fact that you
don't.
will stand up to him now,
Well,
in the future, you can't be trusted for
I
anything
think
else.
it's the
That's what it
same
is,
with
yeah.
Yes.
like I mean Warner Brothers is awful. Everybody knows that. They're as a studio, they don't handle anything well. So I'm like, why haven't they gotten rid of Ezra Miller at this point? You know?
Well,
Like,
and that's a
What
really
does
good
he have to
question.
do to actually get fired? That's the thing.
he's literally
because-
assaulted like 3 people now, 2 people in like a period of a week. Like the dude he needs help, and he does not need to be part of a giant movie franchise anymore.
Well,
Yeah.
If they were worried about the movie, they could still say, we've got rid of him, he's not doing anything else, but we've already filmed this movie, and I think most people would understand.
Yeah,
Yes,
well,
but
they
won't
have
do that.
already filmed the movie, right?
But-
Like they've already filmed it.
But
well, some of it. They're actually doing reshoots and stuff right now.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it's- of course
Yeah.
they have to do
Yeah,
that.
but he's involved in the reshoots. They just don't tell anybody that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
But Warner Brothers also is probably, I'm sure that they're looking at it from a PR perspective. If they fire Ezra Miller and stuff, you know, then that could put them into a bad place as far as just like, you know, because, you know, he's whatever he is. I don't know. Is he like
I think he's non-binary.
non-binary,
Yeah.
whatever.
He's not
Whatever
so-
he is. That's
Can't be
you know, firing
That's going to
that
put them in a hot seat.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but would it?
Exactly.
Because they could just point to his criminal record.
See, but I don't think
it's like
that,
they got a good
I
out.
don't think it would, because you've got literally everyone just saying, please let go of this person and get him out of the role.
Yeah, but that's what the fans are saying. But
Yeah.
they're not.
But think about what the
whole
media would do.
fans.
Think about what the media would do
Yeah.
if they fired him.
The conversation.
But all
will
they
be-
have to do is just look. Criminal record. Look what he's
Like,
done.
Yeah.
the thing is, like, I care about them literally just keeping a person who's assaulted multiple people in a role that probably shouldn't be there. Like, I feel like that's just common
Yeah.
sense. But at
Yeah.
like, there's so much bad PR because of it, like because of those incidents. Like, I feel like that alone should outweigh any problem they think they would have if they got rid of him.
Yeah,
And
like-
Jeremy Clarkson punches one producer, he gets fired immediately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That
Well,
seems a little
and
wild
here's
to
the
me.
thing: we just watched Joss Whedon, even though like he's
Okay, well,
he's
Josh Whedon is a piece of garbage.
he's a douche nugget, but he was mean to his cast members.
Yeah, he was awful to them.
But that doesn't. But he being mean to your cast members isn't a criminal offense, and they fired him really quickly. So that's the thing. Like, you know, Ezra Miller's out there committing crimes, hitting bitches in the head with chairs, dropping from the top turnbuckle with elbow drops and everything. And they're like,
You sound like a
"It's fine."
wrestler.
Yeah, but you know,
I think that was a little
oh,
overboard, but I don't know.
you know, well, yeah. I mean, he hit that one chick in the head with a chair, but
yeah, no,
and there's
to-
that
to-
video of him just going and throwing it
Yeah.
to the ground.
you know,
to
so
talk about like, yeah, I don't know.
but then to say, well, he's being mean to us, and you listen. If he's being mean and you don't want to hire him, don't hire him anymore. That's fine.
Yeah.
But they actively fired him from projects he was working on, and then Ezra Miller's acting out doing this stuff. And you know, we've seen situations before. Like, look what happened. You know, with Fantastic Beasts, they were actively in production, and they let Johnny Depp go.
Yep.
And then brought in Mads Mikkelsen. You know.
Yep.
So, and he didn't even know about it until they started filming. Filming was underway, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean,
Exactly.
yeah, Johnny Depp's situation hasn't been handled well at all. But
no.
once again, it all comes down back to Warner Brothers and
Yeah.
their treatment of certain things and other things. I mean, like they didn't want freaking Zack Snyder on stuff anymore because his movies were too controversial for the
Yep.
mainstream people.
Yep.
I mean, like
Yep.
his movies they split people, and they didn't like having that divide.
And that could
yeah.
be another reason that this was the other thing that could be going on here with Gal Gadot, is that they're trying to continue to separate themselves from the Zack Snyder
stuff.
So they could be trying
like,
to distance themselves by
I
bringing
don't
in other
understand
actresses and all that stuff.
how after seeing Zack Snyder's Justice League and seeing the amount of praise that it got, how you'd want to distance yourself from his stuff.
Because they were wrong.
Yeah, probably. They're just like, they don't want to admit it. They're just like, we don't want to admit that we made a mistake. I mean, like the dude has literally made in my opinion, some of the most inspirational superhero stuff. And I absolutely love his work. And I really like him. And I just wish that we'd be able to continue with his stuff. And like, they're obviously never going to do that because I mean, that's just I just don't get it. Like, why? Why not let him continue to do his stuff, and instead you're yelling about problems with Gal Gadot that don't make any sense.
Because they want to be in control of the narrative, and
They're
with
really...
everything that happened with the fans, basically, calling and campaigning for what was it, like 2 years or something for the Snyder Cut, release the Snyder Cut and stuff.
That they even did that still baffles me.
Which a lot of that was actually coming from HBO Max, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because what happened was they changed leadership when they got bought out by AT&T. They changed leadership, and then AT&T was looking to cut sharp head, putting heads on the chopping block. HBO Max and their group stepped in and was like, "Hey, so we got some stuff that we could really draw people in with. They've been asking for this Snyder Cut for a while.
Yep.
Producers aren't going to do it, but we could do it, and it makes them look like shit because people watched it."
Yeah,
so
totally.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
that's exactly what happened.
And well, so, it really
Warner
did.
Brothers being super petty. They're like, oh well, we're not going to have anything to do with that anymore, and they're just continuing to try to.
The thing is, and they should realize this, is that the more because people have obviously grown to like a lot of Snyder stuff, whether or not it was years later. A lot of people have come around to some of his stuff, maybe that they hadn't when it first came out. I think that to distance themselves so much from Wonder Woman, especially, who was like, people loved Wonder Woman. I mean, like, that movie was excellent. It was really well done. People loved it. And then I don't know what they did with the second one. And then, then you've got, them potentially trying to get rid of her. I just feel like that's going to turn people off of watching the stuff that they put out, only because it just feels like they're making all the wrong decisions. It just that alone, like keeping Ezra Miller, trying to campaign against Gal Gadot, potentially removing, and like, obviously all this is conjecture because we don't know what's going to happen yet. But if they do all these things, I feel like they're just making wrong move after wrong move after wrong move, at least for if you're trying to get people in the theater to watch movies.
But they're already doing it with things like bringing Robert Pattinson to play the Batman and things like that. And, even if he's not connected to, I don't
think he's connected.
It's all just kind of a mess what they're doing with the DCEU anyway. Like, because everything's just kind of its own thing in a lot of ways.
Yeah, right.
But they're already kind of doing that with that, and people loved what's his name's portrayal of Batman. No. Affleck, Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
People really enjoyed his performance a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But this is just another situation where they're basically trying to bring in a new Batman now suddenly and replace him.
And the funny thing is, I don't even think the Batman's going to have anything to do with anything else. I genuinely think it's just standalone.
Well, the rumors is that they're going to do a bunch of standalone things, because we also have
exactly
Ta-Nehisi Coates' and J.J. Abrams' Superman is reportedly coming, and it's supposed to be
a train wreck.
It's going to be on HBO Max, and apparently
it's going to be garbage. It's going to be terrible. I'm telling you that right now. It's going to be absolutely garbage.
Henry Cavill is like the definitive Superman. I feel like he's so good. He's so good as the character.
Yeah.
So do we actually know why they don't like Henry Cavill? Because this is like they've got something against him personally.
I don't know if they do.
Leaving him.
I think it's just because he's part of Zack Snyder's stuff.
He's a straight white male who doesn't preach the political propaganda.
Yeah. Well, he's part of Zack Snyder's
he's loved
universe
by the fans. I don't know.
Zack Snyder literally loves the dude.
Yeah.
Snyder loves the dude. The fans love the dude. I mean,
and this is the thing, and this is why they won't recast Superman, because they know they'll get backlash for it. So what they're gonna do, and what the rumor is in the Flash, is that they'll kill off Henry Cavill's Superman, replace him with Supergirl. But then there's rumors that she even dies at the end of the movie.
Yeah,
and that they don't have any Superman, like, at all. So
I like the idea that they're not going to replace him because they get backlash, but they'll kill him and they won't.
Yeah. If we kill Superman, we definitely won't get backlash.
Well,
yeah. I mean, some of the things I've heard about Henry Cavill, he's like, he's just like a normal dude in a lot of ways, and they, that's not the type of people
What's funny to me though is like
to prop up.
He's British.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. I mean, what is there not to love?
Yeah. British normal dude. He's a
nerd.
I've actually got a filter on to hide my arms.
He's actually Disparu actually is Henry Cavill.
I'm
the opposite of female Thor. I've actually got prosthetics to lower my arms.
Wow.
That's
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Henry Cavill's a legend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll leave it at
absolutely.
that. Dude's a freaking mad lad.
So as far as other stuff that's coming on in May,
Yeah,
we
sorry,
got
we got
Doctor
really
Strange
carried away
too.
there.
We named
There's
one thing.
well, there's not really a whole lot.
I was gonna say,
So
I don't think there's anything else really coming
there's
out.
Top Gun Maverick, but
I'm
I
actually
don't
pretty
know.
excited about
I'm
that.
not
I love
that-
Top
I'm
Gun.
not-
What do you have against
I don't
Top Gun?
I love
like
Top Gun.
it's okay, but I don't need
What
a
the
sequel.
fuck?
Ah,
I
it's
don't need a
classic,
sequel.
dude. It's classic.
That's true. I don't think it needs a sequel.
I'm so
Hey,
excited for this
well,
movie.
You know what I'm really pumped for?
What's that?
Marmaduke.
Wow.
Is that coming out in May? Really?
Oh, I don't know
Yeah.
if this comes out in May, but a movie that I
Marmaduke.
really want to see is The Black Phone. I think it's Scott Derrickson's most recent one.
Why's it got to be a black phone, Ben?
I think it's called The Black Phone. I think that's what it's called.
Keep saying it like it makes it better.
Alex Garland has a movie coming out this.
I'm very excited for that. Actually, if you see the
Is it because
trailers,
it's called
Oh, is that
Men?
for him? Is that the him?
Men. No, it's a
Men.
really cool. It's a really cool concept. And also, I've loved everything he's
Alex
made,
Garland's
so.
great. Yeah.
I mean, he's a very good filmmaker.
Do you know who Alex Garland is? Just
Yeah.
for
Oh,
You're asking me an
British.
actor's name? No. You can
No,
ask
he's
me
Oh, that's
any
right,
actor's
yeah,
name. I'm not
he's
going
a
to know.
director writer. Have you seen Ex
Oh,
Machina?
I don't know the writers and stuff.
Yeah, let me
Have you
see.
seen
Do you-
Ex
have you-
Machina?
yeah. Ex Machina.
No.
Okay.
What about Annihilation?
You keep asking me names like I'm gonna.
There was
Watch-
one.
I don't know names.
If
I
you wanna
literally
educate
have to
yourself on
Google
his-
stuff to find out what the movie is.
If you want to educate
No, I don't
yourself
think I
on
have.
his first two movies, watch those. They're extremely good. Oscar Isaac is in Ex Machina along with Donald Gleason and Alicia Vikander, I think.
Yeah, I
And
think
it's
this
very
would
good.
actually like Ex Machina and
There
Annihilation,
he makes
so.
very thought-provoking movies, but
I'd be surprised if
thought-provoking
you
in a
liked
good
Ex
way.
Machina, to be honest. He wrote the script for Dread,
Yeah.
which has Carl Urban in it. If Disbrew
He-
hasn't seen Dread, Disbrew would fucking love Dread because Dread is just
No,
nothing
I-
but fucking action. But-
Yeah.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
thing. I don't think I didn't watch that because it got
It's got a
bad-
negative.
terrible review.
Yeah, it doesn't have.
It
They
did
just
get
didn't
really
like
bad
it.
reviews, but I
Carl
don't know
Urban
Yeah,
why
is
that's
they
why I
really
never
good
saw it.
though.
Yeah, I loved it. It was.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
And I don't. If you like science fiction or you like anything mind bendy, Alex Garland makes very mind bendy kind of thought provoking science fiction. So Annihilation is really good, and Ex Machina is one of my favorite movies ever. I
The
think
thing
that
with
movie's
me, yeah,
brilliant.
I haven't seen recent movies because there were so many ones that were trash, and I'm like, it's not even.
Yeah.
I kept going to the cinema and regretting going, and
I think
so
these
in
two
the end,
movies came out a while ago, but
yeah,
Um,
Annihilation was like 2018, I think it said.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Cooking with Ruthie, thank you for the $5 super chat. What about The Black Phone? You guys
Yeah.
excited about that one?
I am very excited for that.
I know nothing about the Black Phone.
It's
I saw
Scott
the trailer
Derrickson's
for it, and I
movie.
was like, eh.
But apparently it's very good from
Really?
what I've heard.
Huh.
So,
Oh yeah,
but I
we'll
also
see.
I just really like Scott Derrickson.
I think
do.
that's coming out in June.
Yeah,
so.
I really like him. He's a cool guy,
Mhm.
and the movie looks good. It's a horror movie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, could be interesting. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude,
Let me get rid of these bots.
sounds
real
gross.
quick.
Dude, this is a
Yeah.
freaking
Yeah.
$55 super chat and a $50 super chat. Just came in a
Holy
row.
shit! Yeah.
Holy guacamole. Thank you so much. J.H. Schwalbach. Thank you
Yeah,
for the
J.H. Schwalbach.
$55.74. Who's got the better bush? Gal Gadot or Epic Mike? People want to know. I want the video.
What?
Get Streamlabs. Don't like giving money to Mama
What?
Susan. I will
I was like,
absolutely
this is going to
work
be a
on that,
double
'cause
entendre. No, I don't think it is.
Yeah, well,
That's
let's-
actually a
let's
really
play.
good point. I have a Streamlabs donation link. I guess it's not in the description, so I'll work on that. That's a really good question. I guess we should ask Ben. What are your thoughts?
I don't have a thought on that.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
Yes, you do.
I really don't.
Yes, you do.
Well, it's not
You
you.
got to
Mike.
have some thought about it.
Wow, you that into Gal Gadot's bush, huh?
I don't know.
I wonder if she even has.
I've never
one. I
seen
don't
it.
know.
Probably
is
doesn't- Probably
it
none.
public?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disper is gonna go on a Google search now.
Oh, jeez.
Well,
Yeah, that's a really good question. Actually, people want to know.
It's a weird
Dude,
assumption that I'm not
do
just
people wanna
completely
know?
shaven down there.
That's also a good point.
and would that be a pro or con in this scenario.
Well, it would mean that she has a better bush if she has any hair down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
True.
we don't know that either.
That's true.
Maybe
So-
neither of you have a bush.
This is like Schrodinger's cat.
Yeah.
Well,
Unless you pulled the pants off,
Unfortunately, it was
is there even a bush?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Well, what do you think, Mike?
I 100% assume mine would be better, but if I had one, or if I didn't have
hoping
one,
is like I
mine would be
really
better.
hope so. Otherwise, I've made a terrible mistake.
I mean, it really depends on your, like some people are, some people are looking for trees in the bush, and some people are not.
Yeah. All I'm gonna say is Manscaped is the way to go. So
some people
Manscaped.
some people are looking for, trees in the middle of the bush, and then some people
Of the
are just
forest,
looking for trees right in the middle of a clearing.
Some people are looking for that clearing in the middle of the
Mhm.
woods where they can make their home.
yeah.
Yep.
they
Sometimes all
really
you
go
want
Put
with
in
is
a-
just
Put down a
2 boulders.
foundation, make a family. That's what they're hoping for. Some people are looking to climb trees.
Some
You know?
people are looking to come into just
You know,
a
just-
bright open clearing. There's just 2 big boulders and a giant tree just right
Yep.
next to them.
swing
That's what
like a
they're looking
lemur
bigger.
on Madagascar, through those
Yeah.
trees.
Yeah.
So
But
Yeah.
if you're talking about hair, I mean, my
Holy
hair's way
cow.
better.
thank you so much for that, JH
Dude,
Swalbach.
frickin-
I appreciate that a lot. Thank you. Thank you so
Betty
much.
Boop is going
Holy
absolutely
shit,
insane
Betty.
with these.
She's-
donuts
she's-
tonight.
Insane. Betty Boop, thank you so much for the $50 super chat. Did they have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Great Britain? Power.
Turtle
I mean, I don't know
power.
if you mean in like real life, like they're taking over the country or something. Stage. But yeah, we had the animation when I was a kid. And
Classic.
I think we had the movie as well, the live action movie from back in the day.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've seen that, but I think
Like
it
the
was
original
awful.
live
I
action
can't
movie?
remember.
Like the 90s one or
Yeah.
Yeah, the 90s. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
The
actually in the
90s one
camp
was
that
great.
really enjoys the 2000s, like later 2000s live action one. It's
Same.
super corny, but it's really fun. It is
Same.
really fun.
I
And it
Yeah, I
captured
got
the
seen it
spirit
since
of
I
the
was like
turtles
7
so
or
well.
something.
It captured the spirit of the turtles so well.
I did
loved
not
it.
like the first Michael Bay non-directed Michael Bay one.
Yeah.
But I like the second one.
Really.
The second one, because the second one felt more like the
The
original.
second one had
Turtles.
Shredder in it, I think, right?
Yeah, the second one. Well, yeah, the second one had Shredder, which whatever, but it had Bebop and Rocksteady,
Yep.
and then it also had
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the turtles being way more like them because
Yeah.
like I don't know, the whole like bulletproof turtles thing to me was a little.
I liked them both.
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
like,
I thought they were both pretty good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed them. For,
Underrated
you know,
movies.
for what they are,
Yeah.
yeah. But the
Um,
original live
yes.
action,
dude,
from
I remember in the
1990s.
90s, like everything was TMNT.
you
Like
could fucking
everything.
get it. Yeah, the '90s one was amazing.
Yeah.
We
Yeah, it was
stained
awesome.
TMNT
It was really
in this
awesome.
house.
Like
Oh, you go back to the 90s and you see the budgets, and it's like that movie had a $13 million budget. Like, wow, that'd probably buy you a camera today.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
it's nuts.
Box
dude.
office of $202 million off a $13 million budget.
Wow. That's
It's
insane.
wild.
Yeah,
Betty
Just
Boop,
nothing
thank
like
you so freaking much for that $50 super chat. You have been
Yes, thank you.
absolutely crazy tonight, and I love it so much. Thank you. Thank
Absolutely
you.
insane.
Yeah, that's awesome. So Disbrew, the
Video games.
professional of video games here. Is there anything coming out in May as far as video games go that we should be aware of?
My biggest disappointment when I looked was Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song, because I'm like, I always remember the 90s Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. I'm like, is this a sequel? No. It's just another one in
Totally
Vampire the
different game.
Masquerade. Same universe, completely unrelated. Because
Right.
there is a Bloodlines 2, and I'm like, has this been renamed? No. That's been in development hell for years, so I've been looking forward to that, and it's probably going to suck, just because of the troubles in
Man.
development.
I don't know
so
anything
this
about
one-
those games.
Yeah, this one, because it's Vampire the Masquerade, I want it to be good. The current first reviews from what everyone's saying, not gonna get that. You've got Evil Dead. You're into Evil Dead. Sort of a survival horror game. It's never really been my series. But I know that it's got some major fans in it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wait, Vampire the Masquerade, isn't there like a role playing game?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's the same universe as Werewolf.
Okay.
Yeah, this
Okay,
is another
yeah,
role-playing game as
yeah.
well. The weird thing that gets me with lots of these games is that they're on Switch. I'm like,
Really?
why? If you
Right.
put
Yeah.
something on Switch, you are going to be held back with the graphics you can do just because you're going for a weaker platform. At some
100%.
point, we're going to have
Wait.
to start ditching consoles that don't have much power. We're
Right.
going to have to.
Yeah.
Isn't I mean, because you play so the werewolf game that you play, that's part of the same universe then, right?
Yes.
As all
Yeah.
of this?
It's all in the same.
Okay.
It's called the World of Darkness, and there's Werewolf, it's Vampire the Masquerade, which is the biggest one. Then there's
Right.
Werewolf the Apocalypse, there's Mage the Ascension.
So why the freak have they not made a werewolf video game
They
yet?
did make a werewolf video game last
they?
year called Werewolf.
but
It was terrible. It was fucking terrible. It was absolute ass. It was like a fucking brawler beat 'em up kind of game.
Come on,
And
man.
it was
like
terrible.
what?
And then like not only that, but like it's called Earthblood, and they try to go like the cheesiest fucking route with the werewolves, where they made him the character an eco-terrorist, where he was like trying to fight a corporation, and that is part of Werewolf the Apocalypse. There is the thing about like nature and being in touch with nature and stuff like that because you're fucking wolves, but like they also picked, I think it was a Fianna, who like their tribe are like singers and shit. They're all warriors, but like they picked like one of the shittiest tribes to like try to make like the main character of a series that's fighting him like by himself, going against like it was just shit. The game was shit. Nobody liked it.
That's so sad. That's so sad. Like, come on. Everything that I've heard about that universe that Mike has told me, it sounds so in depth and amazing. Like everything sounds so awesome about it, and then you just put out like a pathetic game like that. Like, and apparently the next one. Yeah,
go ahead.
The first.
Go ahead,
The first Bloodlines game was amazing because it was so deep, and it went to areas where a lot of games, especially now, would be scared to tread. Like, it had the whole idea where if you were a vampire and you fed off someone, they became like under your thrall and would do anything for you. And so it delved into sort of, is it right to take advantage of that? Because they really want to do it, like genuinely want to. And there's a point where it's destroying the person's life and you have to decide, like, do I just essentially break them to get them to go off and be free? Or do I just accept that, okay, now they're sort of going to follow me around forever? And that had a whole idea. That was it went back into, there was sort of a sarcophagus that everyone wanted, and it delved into the whole major corporations having the power to gather this kind of stuff. So they weren't just profit-making companies, but they had things on the side, and it was that had a werewolf in it as well. But the werewolf was basically indestructible, and the only way you could kill him is you can't fight physics. So I think you had to basically rip him apart. It was the only way you could physically beat him, because vampires just in that universe apparently can't kill werewolves at all.
So if you take a werewolf from Werewolf the Apocalypse and you take the most powerful vampire from Vampire the Masquerade, it's almost an even fight, because werewolves are so powerful in their universe, like because of all the shit that they have, because they're built to be like tank fight. Every single one is a tank fighter, that they're almost impossible to kill. They regenerate at like ridiculously fast speeds. So like a shitty non-fighter werewolf could kill like an entire group of regular vampires at any go. So that's kind of accurate. Like if you throw a werewolf in the vampire world, they're so brokenly overpowered that it's not fair. But that's how the tabletop systems work, because werewolves are built to like fight much bigger, much more dangerous things, and vampires are more like we're people, like dealing with and grappling with our humanity and like lack thereof and stuff. Yeah,
right.
So that makes sense. I think it's cool that they actually did that and made it really hard to fucking kill it. Yeah, because
you just had to run away. It just like you couldn't even damage it. There was no chance.
Crazy.
Okay, yeah, because like werewolves regenerate like, they have like really really high. They regenerate like what's his name? Like Wolverine. Like that's how fast they regenerate. But because in Werewolf the game, everything can do so much fucking damage that it doesn't matter. They can go past your regeneration. But like one of the mechanics in Werewolf, which is my favorite, is if you kill a werewolf, they have a chance to like rage out, and if they succeed at that rage, they just regenerate all the damage that they took. You can literally rip its head off, completely rip the skull off, and if it makes its rage roll, it'll just regrow its head and start fighting again, and like a blind fury. Yeah, they're so fucking broken, dude.
That's awesome. Like, that'd be so cool, man.
But I will say this to just boost credit.
Yeah,
the Vampire the Masquerade series is a really well written series with a lot of exploration and concepts, and it's all high art. Everything in the World of Darkness is technically high art. Like they're actually trying to do something with it, and so I don't hate the vampires. I just like werewolves better. but the concept and the Vampire the Masquerade is by far the most popular franchise of the World of Darkness. It's not even close. So
yeah.
And what I've read of Bloodlines, I haven't played it, but what I've read of Bloodlines, it was incredible. So
oh yeah, and it so many topics that you couldn't even get into. It went into sort of movies about people being like. There's a whole arc where you go into this underground movie archive, and it turns out that no, people actually are being killed on camera by these weird monsters and stuff that you got to go and find. And I just don't think you can even approach the topics, which is one of the reasons I was scared for Bloodlines. Because if you remove that from that game, it loses all of its appeal. It's just a generic RPG at that point. It was the universe that made the game and made the
World
story.
of Darkness, because it's like a game of savage horror, and like that setting is really fucking dark. Like Werewolf gets in some really fucking dark shit too. So
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah,
I would love to try that game out sometime still. So that'd be good.
Trying to see, because it's they announced it was supposed to come out in last year, and it didn't come out. Bloodlines 2.
Oh, Bloodlines. So yeah, it's gone across developers and everything else. At one point, there was rumored to be cancelled, and I think Paradox have it now. And they did a thing where they're like, no, we are still making it because we'd like the concept, but I think they thought it was awful, so they're putting a lot of work in to fix it. So it's one of those things where it not being released is probably for the best. And Paradox do make good games, so
Oh, because they bought White Wolf as a property. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. I think when a company buys it and then doesn't release something, that's probably for the best. But any game that goes on for this long in development, you tend to start having doubts about because it's not been released because it's not good enough at the moment. And if it goes on like that for years, you're like, well, can they even make this game?
Well, when I just saw one of the people that exited was named like Kara Ellison. She's not a good writer, so she got kicked off the project. Anyways, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly, there's still a lot that I haven't delved into when it comes to a lot of like the role playing, Dungeons and Dragons type stuff. So it'd be something that I'd like to do more. Because Mike and I ran a game at one point, and it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it thoroughly. So
it's another thing I'd like to do more of too.
Yeah. So
it was really inconsistent because I was busy as frick, and but so I think Bloodlines would be pretty dope, but it would be interesting. Yeah, like you said, it seems like this one's like a single player focused versus the whole open world. That doesn't sound nearly as interesting.
Right.
So,
Bloodlines were both single player, and this Swan Song, like I say, it's unrelated, and this is the issue, right? I'm only interested in it because it's Vampire the Masquerade, but just because you've got the set. As far as I'm aware, I think they announced recently anyone can make anything in that universe. Like they don't even hold the IP, you just make content for it. They're fine.
Oh, really?
So
interesting.
There's no kind of quality standard for it now at all. Because I think 40K has the same problem. You could just make a 40K game and they don't care.
Really?
So
that's crazy.
If there's no one gatekeeping the standard, you end up with a lot of trash.
Right.
So you just end up with Well, that's what. So I think 40K just recently stopped that. But that was the issue. Yeah, they actually like shored up because they want to make their own content. Because they actually hired. I don't know if you guys have ever watched the Astartes series. It's called.
Oh, it's awesome,
dude. It's fucking rad. If you guys haven't watched it,
what's it called?
Astartes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a YouTube series.
Okay.
They actually hired him because it was so good.
I was actually just gonna say, like, if you have like an IP that's open like that, it'd be interesting to make some like
So the guy made his own like web series, and they hired him because now that they've shored up everything, they just started hiring guys that did quality topics.
That's so cool. I love that. That's great. That's
kind of
awesome.
Interesting. Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
that's something like Valve have done a lot of. They hire people that make mods for their games. They end up hiring them and putting them on their own team, like Portal developers and stuff.
That's actually something. That actually reminds me. So Studio Wildcard, who made Ark Survival Evolved, which is one of my favorite games, that's something they've done. Is there's such a big modding community for that game that they've like brought people in who made entire maps for the game, and they brought them in to like make that map officially for the game. It's just really cool. I love when indie studios do that. Just like where they really pay attention to like what the fans are doing, like these people that just love their product, and they're like, hey, we're going to bring you in for a huge opportunity. Do you want to make this fan favorite map like an official map in our game and like help us design it? I just think that's awesome. So whenever studios do that, I just think it's really cool. Anything where they do stuff like that.
And it's by far the best for them because
Yeah.
Interviews are renowned for being the single worst way you can hire someone. Everyone can fake an interview; it doesn't do anything. But when you've actually got work on your own game, if that was good, any work they're going to make for you is good as well. So
Right, it's like if they can literally design stuff better than some of your team, then they're a great hire.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Hollywood should do more of that too, because there's a lot of very good fan films out there for different series and stuff.
Some
like
of the
that,
Star Wars fan films out there are insanely good.
Yeah,
insanely good.
Yep.
Like the production quality is very, very, very impressive.
Make sure you guys check out the Astartes, and if you guys are like in the chat after we get done streaming, and if you don't have anything to do, go check it out. ASTARTES, and it is a fan film. This guy did it all on his own, with his own money, with his own budget, everything like that. And now he's working officially for 40K. But it is one of my favorite fan films of any property I've ever seen.
Could you type out the name and put it in the chat, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me pull up YouTube real quick. It is phenomenal quality, and it is the best 40K thing I've ever seen. So
nice. That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. That's really cool. I love hearing stuff like that. That's really cool. So
this is one of the issues, because I think the biggest issue gaming has had is that modding tools have gone away. Because they used to keep games, this is probably why they've gone away. They used to keep games relevant for like a decade rather than 6 months and everyone's bored because developers can't pump out content enough. Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so they want to sell the next annual release, so they don't really want you playing the previous games. But that was how talent developed. That's how people got into the gaming industry. People would mess about in their bedrooms, and then they'd be like, I want to do this as a career. And now what you've got are people that basically go through university and think, I want to see this as a job. And they probably don't care that much. And they've not spent their early life managing the skills. And then suddenly, okay, now you're working on this game, make it, and crunch.
Yeah, and I think it's cool because actually a more super recent game that I've seen a lot of encouragement for modders is Elden Ring. I've seen a lot of encouragement for modding for that game, which I think like that's really cool. You don't see that as often with games anymore. So like I love mods. I've never been able to make one myself, but I freaking love using other people's mods. Like I've modded Skyrim to the hilt on my computer, and I've played hundreds and hundreds of hours of that modded. So like it is really a good way to find talent for your studio, because like nobody's going to be more passionate than those people that are working on your game, like working on making stuff for your game.
There's going to be a VR mod for Elden Ring. If they nail that, I think that'll be incredible.
Are you serious? That's an actual thing. Wait, what?
Yeah,
we got a huge fucking
I just saw that.
J.H. Schwalbach for 127.57 had to do a follow-up. I can't get Josiah out of my head as a woman killing shit with Jeremy.
I don't want to see that. I really don't want to see
Jordan
that.
Peterson would be a great, but Chris, the next Jordan Peterson would be a great guest host. Are you all going to be in Vegas? Would love to meet you. Hail FNT.
Dude, I
There's so many layers to this one.
I can't get over the Josiah as a woman. I don't ever want to see that.
I saw it. In Fortnite.
I was there. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I'm playing. I play as like a female characters in Fortnite.
Josiah was
I got like the short skirts and stuff. So.
I like
that's because you're like a 12-year-old boy.
I can't.
Yeah.
For the chat. For the chat.
For the chat.
It's third person,
my bad.
obviously.
My bad. For the chat.
Thank you so much, JH. I'm lost.
No words. He has no words.
I love the idea of Krista being the next Jordan Peterson, and she travels the world teaching people about chicken nuggets and stuff.
I really don't know Krista that well. Is she like big into psychology or something?
Oh, she is like a philosopher.
Yeah.
Like
about chicken nuggets.
About chicken nuggets.
Well, I mean, there's only so much philosophy chicken nuggets can.
That's what you think.
That's what you think until you hear what Chris has to say about it, and then.
Dude,
I don't
she
take
will,
anybody
she will
that says,
change your entire reality.
I don't take anybody that says chicken nuggies seriously. I'm sorry. I just don't.
I don't think you meant to.
J.H. Schwalbach, I don't know if Josiah plans on being in Vegas. Do you have plans to go to Vegas?
I do not.
Okay.
I'm planning on being at the meetup in
yeah,
for sure.
Me and Josiah are for sure like planning. We can't say for sure because you never know what happens. But yeah,
right.
The
Unless
plan
I
is
die again. then
Yeah,
Which
that would be
is
a,
never
that
outside
kind
the
of
realm of possibility.
that kind of be a big halter on the
Yeah,
plan.
but
Yeah.
the plan is for me and Josiah to both be at the October meetup in Orlando. And even if you guys can't be there, there's going to be a ton of live streams. I know Jeremy's got a bunch of crazy stuff planned for us to be down there. So
yeah,
maybe we'll pull the trigger on kidnapping Disparu about that time.
right.
That would be a great time to kidnap Disparu. You should do it. You should bring him down there.
I think it'd be fun to do some fan meetups and stuff too. So, obviously, you know, I don't know where in the States, if you are in the States, JH, well, obviously you're in the States with, you know,
Vegas,
the
looks like.
USD money and stuff, but, you know, so I don't know exactly where you're at, but it would be cool to do some fan meetups and stuff like that as well, around the States. So, yeah, that'd be fun. We will definitely make something happen soon. And, I totally agree. Hail F&T. Hail F&T.
Yes.
So thank you for all of your support, JH. I really appreciate that a lot. That is insane. So thank you. Woo!
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm telling you, JH and Betty have been going off
Killing
the
it.
walls today.
Rushing it.
That's pretty insane.
Yeah.
Superheroes.
You guys are mad,
That's what they
mad
are.
lads.
Superheroes. They're the Tony Starks of
The real superheroes.
Josiah Rises.
There you go.
Yeah. Dope.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. But yeah. I'm still just like, I still have like the thought of like Krista being the next Jordan Peterson in my mind, and it's
That
just
was the
weird.
bit that got me about
I can't.
what has to happen to make that come into your head?
I just don't. Yeah. Wow.
I can see it.
Everything I know about Krista makes me feel like no.
She's just like sitting there when you walk in, and she's like chicken nuggies, and you're like, what? You really love with that one.
Take a seat.
I
and-
really need to meet Krista. Like, I feel like,
Yeah.
because
I should get her on the show sometime. That'd be fun.
yeah.
Dude, she would be a great
Like, what do you
guest.
think about this deep, like, political topic?
Yeah.
Yeah, but have you considered the wisdom of chicken nuggets?
Have you eaten any chicken nuggies today?
They will enlighten
Have you had your cookie snack before bed?
Here's a chicken.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
wow.
buy Krista an actual chicken someday. That's gonna happen.
Dude, like an actual solid good chicken from like a good farm.
Yes, like an actual chicken,
Yeah.
like an actual live chicken.
Disprove what you
real
what
working
you,
asshole and everything.
Do you
Yeah.
remember?
not
Do you
know
remember
about
our
me.
little chicken pal that we brought with us all the way
Yeah,
to
dude.
Wisconsin?
Oh
Pearl.
my goodness, I remember
Pearl.
that chicken.
Yeah,
Pearl.
we took a
Pearl.
chicken with us across state borders to.
What,
Yeah.
a live
Like a lot-
chicken?
We
Yeah,
traveled.
we carried a live
We
chicken.
traveled over 4 states with a chicken named
Yeah.
Pearl.
So that Josiah could
Why?
carry the chicken over his head to
Across
break
the
law.
Wisconsin border.
and then
Yeah.
outfly, yeah.
Because there's
Yeah,
a law. There's a law in Wisconsin that you can't cross the border with a chicken on your head.
It's like a really obscure law.
Yep, we have.
It's
really
a literal
weird
law.
laws here.
So we were like, oh, well, let's go break this stupid law. So we brought a chicken with us. We drove all the way to Wisconsin, and I did it. I
love
did it!
those laws because it means that at some point somebody did that and something horrible happened, which means there needed to be a law. And like, what was the event and what did they think they were doing at the time?
Exactly. It's funny.
Somebody died doing that. Like, we got to stop this stupidity.
Yeah, and you know how in Fortnite you're holding like the chicken like above your head like
Yeah,
that? That's
yeah.
literally what I did. I held the chicken above my head like that, and I walked
we have
across
video
the
evidence
border.
of it.
It's like there's a Canadian law where if a horse refuses to overtake your car, you've got to dismantle your car and hide it in the bushes. And, like,
What?
at some point, that was probably a genuine problem. Like, horses just, what is this thing on the road? I'm not going along there. But the fact that you can dismantle a car and put it back together, it's like, oh, those were the days.
I watched this video of some guy breaking like obscure laws in the UK, and I guess one of
we
them
got
was
loads, yeah.
well, one of them was like you can't carry a salmon suspiciously, or you can't carry a fish suspiciously in public. So he literally walked around with a dead fish, looking as suspicious as possible.
Amazing.
Oh, one of my best ones, because our police they used to wear some of them have caps and stuff now, but the big sort of helmets.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And there is a law where a pregnant woman is allowed to ask to pee in a policeman's helmet, and he can't refuse. It's like for her decency, like literally can't refuse. That is the law.
Yeah, because pregnant women could literally pee at any point.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you don't want to
right.
do it on the streets. That'd be uncouth and uncivilized.
Yeah.
So that's what the policeman's helmet's for.
Yeah, that's
Quick.
incredible.
Officer.
There's like,
I say that's very uncouth of you.
yeah, and it's like women aren't allowed to be topless on a bus unless she works in a tropical fish shop. We've got loads of weird things like that.
I think we should. I think we should really go film a video breaking really stupid laws in the UK.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just
the
show up
laws
in
are
the UK.
anywhere. Yeah, there's so many of them.
So many.
Just start
I'd
breaking
like to
laws.
do more. I mean, we kind of covered like some of the states that were our neighboring states and stuff, but there's plenty of other
many.
ridiculous laws
There's
in
really
some of the
some
other
really
states and
weird
stuff.
ones.
So
I
it'd be
think
fun
it was
to make
one in
some more videos
Miami,
of that.
which was like you can't pawn your false teeth. And like,
Yep.
why would you only do stuff like that if you're planning to sell them on? So who's buying those teeth?
Someone in chat just said there's a law that allows someone to kill a Welshman in a specific
Yes.
church at noon in the UK.
No, it's not in a specific church. It's within the bounds of the wall of Chester. Because that was like if they were invading, then you could kill them if they were invading Chester from
That is
Wales.
hilarious.
This freaking
Imagine-
Welsh guy just comes
imagine-
there and gotta kill him.
Imagine being a Welshman that shows up at just the wrong time.
Just
Somebody's
get
like,
freaking
Balls of steel. Go on, you won't dare.
So like technically, if that law is still like in practice, technically, if you just freaking murder some Welsh guy right there, do you not break the law?
Just dab
Well,
on the
this is
body.
the issue, isn't it? It's like everyone knows it's on the books, but you know they're not going to enforce that, or they're not going to allow it.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
right, of course.
Yeah.
Well, imagine,
Well,
like you said,
yeah.
being a Welshman that just shows up at that time, like, do it. What
That's the thing about
He's
you
got
know
like the
these
statute next to him.
these dumb laws and stuff. Like it's not like anybody's gonna actually enforce them if you break them and stuff.
Yeah.
Like who's
Well,
gonna
this
go
is
out there when
who
you?
decides?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well,
Well, at some point they must have decided,
Yeah.
we're not going to.
These were probably written like years and years ago,
yeah,
like in some
like almost 100 years
on
ago,
some
probably,
tablet or
and-
piece of parchment or something.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
like,
Yeah. Let's see. Cooking with Ruthie, thank you for the $5 super chat. You give her a chicken, she'll keep it as a pet. Krista.
Yeah,
Hey, I'm
It's
kind of
very
the same.
weird.
I'm kind of the same way.
I mean,
it's
chickens
very
are
weird
awesome,
to me that
so.
someone's so obsessed with chicken nuggets, but also likes chickens. Like,
Dude.
she wants them alive as pets,
Yes.
but also wants to eat
Yeah.
them.
So I
There's
don't
a
know if-
disconnect there. Yeah.
There-
If you know, I mean, just you probably know what Chick-fil-A is, but obviously
Yeah,
there's
heard
no
of it.
Chick-fil-A's over there. So I used to work for Chick-fil-A. I would eat chicken like every single day, but I also would probably have a chicken as a pet. So
in Texas,
like,
if your
had a
husband cheats
Chick-fil-A
on you,
open?
you can kill them. Is an actual law. Wow.
I think we had a Chick-fil-A open and it got protested and shut down.
Oh
or
yeah,
something like that.
yeah, that's right.
did that
Yep.
actually happen?
Yes. Yep,
Yeah,
they were
well, it
going
was-
to open up a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah,
and-
they've never tried to open another one internationally.
Yeah.
No,
Yep.
because of that protest. And it didn't even take them long. It was like 3 days protest and they just shut it down.
Yep.
And they'd built it, they'd outfitted
Really?
it out and everything and just cut their losses.
I think it
Yeah.
would do so well over there,
Oh, it would. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But
dude. It would
you know.
freaking.
the woke,
Right, you're-
the
yeah.
woke freaks.
Yeah. It says,
At a-
following public outrage. It was like 4 people.
Yeah. Right. Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Were
the
they like
majority of-
lying on the sidewalk or something, or just
It
they're
doesn't
just like
sound very
camped out in
British.
front
They were
of it.
probably just standing outside with signs.
Yeah, and
There
everybody's
might have
like,
been one around us then.
they
Yeah.
walked outside. That's too many people. We gotta close it up.
Well,
Close it up.
It says they launched a petition calling for its closure, and it quickly got 1,000 signatures. So it didn't even get many signatures. So they're just like,
1,000?
this
What?
isn't worth
That's
it.
so few
Wow.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're like,
They-
you know
I
what?
think it
It's
was
not worth the
Americans thinking that
Oh.
British people wouldn't protest at all. And they're like, oh, if there's 3 of them, then we have to enrage the entire country. We didn't expect this. I was like, no, nobody cares.
There's like, wow, 1,000 people. That's like all of the UK. So I guess we gotta shut it down.
headache. That's
Oh
fine.
man, that's so funny. That's really
Oh,
funny.
Fantastic.
Well, that is going to be it for the stream for this week. We appreciate you all for coming out. Seriously, like the amount of support we've gotten tonight from you all, it's been just insane, especially from Betty Boop and JH. I almost said J Hailstorm. And I was like, nope, wrong
Never him.
person there. But JH Schwalbach, thank you so much, guys, for your support and Cooking with Ruthie and everyone else. You guys are awesome. So, Disbrew, what do you have going on?
I've just done a Halo review of episode 6 and the hell that was. managed to
Fucking
get through another
phenomenal.
episode of that before I have to talk about it again tomorrow. And yet then tomorrow there's a Wheel of Time video coming because
Nice.
the showrunner has been running his mouth again about how he's going to destroy it even more in season 2. So yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Mm. Don't care
Yeah,
about
so make
that,
sure you
no.
go check out Disbrew. He's doing awesome work over there on his channel, and it's awesome to see him blowing up and stuff. So, epic, Mike.
What's
Oh,
going
look
on?
at that afro.
What do you have
Listen,
going on?
you can catch me here every Saturday.
Hmm.
You know, even when Josiah doesn't want to do it, I make him do it. I'm like, no, gotta do the live stream. Yeah, and then you can check me out on Twitch at twitch.tv, _epic_Mike. I took a little bit of time off last week. I've been busy and tired and a lot of stuff going on, but I'll be back to streaming a lot more going forward. So yeah, you can check me out there all the time. You can also check me out on Twitter, and then hopefully pretty soon here you'll be able to check me out on YouTube as well. So
Nice.
There you go. And Ben, what do you have going on?
Dude, I don't really have a lot going on. I'm just here. I'm just alive, you know, floating.
Do you want to give a
and,
little tease for what you're working on, or
I write.
little
I'm an
tease?
author. I'm currently in the process of trying to publish a science fiction dystopian novel for young adults.
Wow.
So yeah, I am.
There you go.
I'm also a storyteller. But yeah. Besides that, nothing else. I mean, you can follow me on Twitter. I don't really remember what my username is, but you can follow me there if you want.
wow,
Yeah, isn't it like
I think it's like Be Epic Ben.
yeah,
Like
yeah, something like
Better
that.
not
Be
be.
Epic Ben.
But
Better not freaking
once-
be.
Also, yeah, I hang out with these, you know, idiots a lot of the time. So you can find me there too.
Maybe.
yeah,
Yeah.
Maybe.
And my camera just decided to leave.
Yeah, I
Oh.
saw that. Yeah,
Love that.
good job, Ben.
Love that. Bye,
But
camera.
yeah, just as a final plug, make sure you go check out Epic Verse Studios over on
Yes.
Twitter, and also we do have a YouTube channel for it as well, Epic Verse Studios. No content yet, but we are working on it, and I promise you guys will be freaking stoked when we do announce some of the stuff that we're working on. It's going to be awesome. So with that being said, thank you so much, everyone. We really appreciate you all coming out. Thank you for all of the support. And we'll be here again next Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we will catch you all then. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a great rest of your weekend. And we will talk to you later. Bye.
See ya.
Ben just fucking